Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to another Hangout with Entrepreneurs. I have some people in the back. I'll bring them in a moment, but just saying hi to everybody who's out there. Let me see who's on. So we have Kieran Clark. Hey, Kieran, how are you? And Stephen. So you're Kieran. You're both stream hopping. It looks like. I know Joel is streaming. I'm not sure who else is streaming out there. Hey, non-fam. Let's see who else out there. Hey, Jason, how are you? Now, guys, just the link for this to come in and join in the conversation is there. It's at the very top of the of your chat. If you want to click on that, just make sure you mute your YouTube before you click on that link. And so let me see. Let me bring in somebody. Let's see who's there. Let's see. I'll bring in. Let me bring everybody in, actually. Let's see. Oh, there's only Matt. Hey, Matt. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Let me bring in Jerry as well. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
For some reason, I only brought you in at one at a time for some reason. But anyway.
I'm everybody.
Yeah, normally you're clicking and everyone comes in. Oh, Nerys was on earlier as well. Okay. Yeah, I knew Nerys was on. And all of us, now that we're in here, the stream is going to go downhill. Because we have the guy from Down Under joining the stream. Hey, Kieran.
Hey, Kieran, look what I got.
Oh,
I'm going to open it Saturday.
Yep, that'll be good. Yeah, definitely for Saturday. Did that cover the cost?
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
Joel, just send it. Okay.
You didn't need
You're
to
welcome.
Thank you.
No.
Hey,
Well, I said I'd do it, so it's all good.
That's Yeah, I can't wait to see his reaction when he first tastes the stuff.
Yeah, I had to Google it to see what it's good on. I guess it's good.
Just for the smell. Wait till he cracks the seal and has a sniff.
Yeah,
of it
take
first.
it deep. You need to take a huge inhalation of it. Like it's
ambrosia. Yeah, give
ambrosia.
it a good sniff. Yeah, give it a good sniff.
Yeah,
That's your first
take a mask and
inhalation of it.
smear it in the mask.
What?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Take a mask and smear it in the mask.
Well, if I get enough in my
put it on.
mustache, I guess the next day I'll still be sucking on it with my tongue, and I'll have that aftertaste.
Hey, Gary, how are you? I do not want that image in my head, Jerry. Thank you so much.
He did say earlier this week he'll eat anything. That leaves a lot of latitude.
I said I'll eat just about anything.
We need to
Just
send
about
him,
anything.
we need to send him balut.
Oh yeah. That would really.
That would be interesting. We need to get you balut, Jerry.
It wouldn't be allowed to be shipping. It would be a class as shipping a biohazard.
Not if you
so it
buy
wouldn't
it
be
in the
allowed.
States.
Yeah, Kieran, I was thinking about for years now getting rid of a lot of my bigger models that I couldn't sell.
Hey, Sergio.
They had bad layer line issues in them. They weren't painted that well when I first started painting. And I figured, well, I can make a video about it. So let's see how many people I can tick off. So I made a video dropping them in the trash can. And the next day, and then the little boy next door, the little kid that lives next door, he came over, rang my doorbell out by the street, and he goes, "Hey, are you getting rid of these?" And he brought his mom over. She don't speak very good English. And they took the whole trash can home, dumped it out, and brought me back an empty trash can. So then I came back in the house, and I found some additional models that weren't broke. And I gave them to him also, so he's happier than.
Cool.
That's great. That's great. I mean, you saw my comments. Someone had a comment about all the waste of filament, and I said basically no such thing as a waste. It all goes to the skill and tuning and all that, and it's all a learning experience. So none of them are wasted, regardless of their failures or not. So,
But if I would have just set them out front, they would have melted and the sun got too hot. If I would have put them on a table outside of my front gate, then the table would have disappeared too. So. Anyway.
The table would disappear.
Yeah, somebody
and the model would be left behind.
Yeah, everything. They probably wouldn't even leave a note.
That's what they do. They take the table and leave the models.
Yeah, here's what
take the best.
I don't have it all done, but the one shelf where all those models were, I've reorganized with other prints.
No, it looks good. It looks tidy.
But I'm working on it. I got to do the left side, then a shelf.
Oh, is that the War Queen in the back corner?
Yeah, I did her years ago. Looks pretty
What was
cool.
funny is when you were dropping them in the trash can, they hadn't been moved for so long. The clouds of dust every time hit the bottom. Little puff of dust.
No, I don't live in a rough neighborhood, Ben. It's just that, I mean, I've been in Vegas for like 50-something years, and if anything is laying around, somebody's going to grab it. That's just the nature of people that I've dealt with my whole life in Vegas. So,
yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of pickups in Las Vegas.
When I was a little kid going back to Nebraska, I remember that you'd go by some of these little towns, there'd be a fruit stand set up. Hey, Jason.
Hey.
There'd be vegetables and fruit for sale. There'd be a jar full of money and a price list. You pick your fruit up, you drop your money in the jar, make your own change. You can't do that nowadays. Somebody would take everything, including the money jar and the sign.
Yeah. Hey, Dominic.
Look, Jason.
The honesty of people is
What
gone.
you got?
You know.
Vegemite.
He got the magic. He got the magic jar. He's saving it. He's saving it for the weekend, so we can enjoy that.
Man, I hope you if you're on any medication for sodium levels, you might want to double up on that before you.
Yeah,
take a bite.
definitely.
Yeah, I take blood pressure, cholesterol, and Humira shots every 2 weeks.
Well, your blood pressure may definitely need to be double boosted just for the salt intake.
So
in Japan, that's the only country in the world where you can leave a bar of gold in the middle of the street and nobody will touch it. Somebody
Depends on the
maybe
city.
will call.
It does
No,
depend
no,
on
no,
the city.
in
No, it
Japan.
does depend on the city, but they are very respectful.
Oh yeah. 'Cause
In
I can
most
tell
places,
you
they're
a
very
few
respectful.
cities that if you left lint on the ground, somebody would take it and probably try to resell it back to you.
Sell it to you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
but in most places you're correct. They are very respectful. They won't take stuff. And like the streets there are immaculately clean in 99% of the places. It's good. Like I would say Singapore is the main streets in Singapore is like that too.
Well, Singapore, if you
Orchard Road is-
sneeze,
yeah.
if you
get
sneeze
arrested.
and
Get
like
arrested.
snot falls, they will come
Yeah,
after
get
you.
arrested for it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the reason I was told the reason why. I was talking to the realtor over there when I moved there first, and they said at first, when Singapore became Singapore, the buses and so on didn't have windows and they were all open because they didn't have aircon and so on back then, and people were spitting out the windows at each other. And on top of someone beside you on a bike or beside your car, in the car or whatever it is, right? So they banned spitting for that reason, and they started fining people, and it stopped it. Then the streets were being destroyed with gum. I mean, the cost to clean up the streets for gum off the streets was skyrocketing. So they decided
You
to
can't
ban
buy
it and
gum
fine you.
before. You
And
can't even buy it.
you can buy it. You can buy it, but you have to get permission from a doctor.
Yeah, nicotine gum.
Yeah,
That's about it.
well, no ordinary gum as well if you're breaking the habit, but you can buy it.
Mhm.
But they have a lot of stuff. They have a lot of rules there, but you can walk the streets at night safe.
Yep.
Mhm.
You can. The place is clean. It's well planned. People don't build ugly buildings. It's not permitted. Every building that goes in there, they plan 10 years out what's going in there. They make little models of it. They put a model in an overall scale model of the island, and people come into the planning. If you ever go to Singapore, it's worthwhile visiting the planning department because they've scaled models of the center and all these other areas, and you can tell by the color of the model whether it's ending, whether it's proposed, whether it's new, whatever, and it's all planned down to a T. I mean, nothing goes in there without being approved, and it takes years and years and years to happen. And because of that, the place is always kept immaculate, right? So you can't knock it, right? Like where else can you walk? Could you have a lady walk down the street half naked in the middle of the night and be safe?
Well, you hope it's a lady. We are talking Singapore.
Well, it depends. Unless you're talking about the towers, Orchard Towers.
Don't know what you're talking about. Got no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
Idea, Jason, what he's talking about? No idea.
The fact that you responded that way, you know exactly what I mean.
Unfortunately, Liam, our company office used to be in Orchard Towers.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yes, I think it's legal to eat Vegemite there. Is that what we were saying?
Yeah, Gary. Orchard Towers is a place where there's lots of clubs, but there's also
and massage parlors,
and massage parlors, and there's also let's say food and drink and massages is not all they sell there.
No.
Right, and leave it at that. Right.
It's a great place to visit when the American ships are in. Trust me, it is an interesting place to visit.
I've never been. To be honest, I know what Orchard Towers is. I never went there. and I lived there for 3.5 years.
Yeah, no, like I said, we had an office there, so used to have an office there before we moved, so it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I used to my office was not there, but like it was my office was in Wisma Atria, the shopping center.
Okay, yep, you know what that is, yep.
Yeah.
If you want to see just how fast a U.S. military member can run, just watch them when they're in port at Singapore, because it never fails. About at least 30% of that ship is being chased by the police, and they run right back to the boat. And they don't care, because they know once you go back to the boat, you're on the boat. So you're not just going to come right back out. They just won't let you back out, especially if they see you being chased by the police.
Yeah.
So
the
just
MP
chase them
won't
right
let you back in.
Yeah.
Don't get caught, though. It hurts.
Yep.
Yeah, depending on what you got up to. Yeah,
the MPs don't even bother going to the towers because they know the local constabulary will chase them out if they misbehave. So it's all good.
Yeah, and it's well governed. Like I've never you mess up there, you pay for it. There's no don't be a naughty kid type of scenario. It is you're getting flogging because of what you did.
Yeah, they actually caned an American student who basically had graffitied the place, and he got caned.
Yeah. Well, what he did
20
was
years ago, 30 years
he
ago,
spray painted cars, and what happened is not only did he spray paint the cars, he spray painted cars, and one of them belonged to one of the ministers.
Not a smart move.
That was a really stupid move.
Did they televise it?
No, they didn't televise it in his case. But they sometimes do. But the one other thing they did was he was supposed to get 10 lashes. No, 20. They dropped it to 5, and they gave him 1 a day, rather than give him all in one time. And it was a cane, right?
A rattan cane, yeah.
Yeah. Now.
There was to him and an Australian, and the Australian sneaked out of the country.
No. What's the point of caning someone if you don't feel it?
Yeah.
Look,
that doesn't.
Because if you bleed, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean that.
It cuts the skin open. It breaks the skin and cuts it open.
Yeah.
They can. Yeah.
And if it doesn't cut you, you will end up in the first whack with a giant blood blister under your skin, a welt, and the more they hit you in the same spot.
Yeah,
forget it. Yeah,
that's why they did one because of his age. They did only 1 a day, so he had so that wouldn't happen. But he felt every one of it, and you know what?
Oh yeah.
And afterwards, him and his family were told to leave the country.
But full credit, like I said, he stayed. There was an Australian with him, an Australian kid as well, and he got sneaked out. His parents sneaked him out of the country. He avoided it before he got done with it.
See those Australians.
Yeah, yeah.
They started out as criminals. That's it.
You can hop on a boat and go with the boat to Australia.
No, you must remember. The moment you get into the water, every country owns so much miles of water around the country. So
they're still what?
You finished the both, Jerry?
No,
he's over. So he's got Dr. Doom.
That's an older one, right?
I'm still painting on both of them, but they're getting there.
I'm getting pretty close. Yeah, I like the patina on the chair. That's come out nice. The patina.
That's all resin.
Yeah, it's all resin.
Can you focus your camera, Jerry, or is it just me that sees him kind of blurry?
It's a bit soft.
I'm seeing myself. It looks clear. I don't know.
Maybe it's the feed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know that whenever I rewatch my streams on TV, it's like, wow, that looks terrible.
Because you guys are all sharp. It was just that one, yeah.
Jerry's fuzzy,
Kit,
yeah.
the food in Singapore is fantastic. So that's what they're referring to. The food there is great. And that's good, Jerry. You keep that face on the whole 3 hours. There you go. The challenge is down.
That's like
the only reason you'd be doing that would be drinking too much Tiger. Tiger, mate, it does have adverse effects.
It only to some people.
If I get the rest of my front teeth pulled, I'll be able to put my bottom lip over my nose. Then you guys will really fall out of your chair.
Okay, we're waiting.
So what does too much Tiger feel like? Kieran?
I don't know. I never drink it. I never drink it. I never drink the Tiger.
No, I drink Tiger. It didn't bother me. So I think it varies from person to person. But, but like it's a safe country. Like the other stuff they do, like what else? Like they have corporal punishment for drugs. And killing people.
Thailand does too.
So like, and I have no. I personally, I don't have. If you do something like that, I'm sorry.
No sympathy. Yeah.
No.
I watched a video on YouTube where somebody's driving around different cities, just in the homeless areas and places like that, filming as they drive around. They're in Philadelphia, and a lot of the people, I assume they're on drugs because they're bent in half, like they're looking at something on the ground, but they're not moving. It's like they're sleeping. And I'm thinking, I've seen a lot of zombie movies where the zombies are bent over like that, not moving, and these are real people, and there's so many of them that are just bent over like they're sleeping, but they're upright. And I'm thinking, what the hell? And the guy drives around the block many times, and they never move, and they're upright, and they're like zombies. It's crazy.
Oh, people do, like, I've seen people sleeping, sitting on the side of the road. They sit upright and they fall asleep.
No, they're standing. These people are standing, and they're hunching over like they're picking something up off the ground, and they're frozen in that position. It's crazy.
Oh, I don't know. Then.
Oh, yeah. Really wigged out on something. I don't know.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is zombies.
Problem in the neighboring town with people like that. We call it monkey dust, I think it's called over here. Because
3D printing Mylan.
Hey Mylan, how are you?
When they do that, they like
hey Mylan.
This, and then they get a slow period, and then they like hunch over, looking like is there a penny on the floor or something?
Yeah, well, yeah. In Ireland, the guys we have make fun of, like, everyone makes fun of there's Kerryman jokes. We make fun of the Kerryman. You hear about the Kerryman who dropped a penny? He bent down so fast to pick it up, it hit him in the back of the head. Or how was copper wire invented? Two Kerrymen fighting over a penny. Stuff like this, I mean, every country has their area where they make fun of people like that, people like that. So
what have you been working on, Liam? What's going on with you for the last week?
All I've been doing is Toys for Tots non-stop. I mean, like, I'm doing.
The train that came out nice. The train did with the
the train came out really good. Look.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, and it's great you're doing the larger ones, because you won't be doing the small ones. The larger ones take so much time. Well, so many of them.
The smaller ones, I normally do a full bed of them. These I do two at a time, because I do the engine, and then in front of it the wheels, and then I use the IDEX, so I'll do the same on the other side. But they take 18 hours.
I do 4 of those trains in 4.5 hours.
Yeah, but you're moving at 4 or 5 times the speed.
Probably, yeah.
But that's good getting the bigger ones. The bigger ones
do that fast.
The bigger ones would not be that many people doing the bigger ones, which is great. So
that's why I started doing them, because what I found was there's like some of the other components, like these flexies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's thousands of them out there.
Yeah.
And they're small.
So they keep a count, do they, of what's been made?
Well, people log in and they put into a spreadsheet, a Google Doc spreadsheet, and you update in there. And then, like, there's thousands of them, and there's about maybe 50 or 100 of these.
Yeah, because just because of time, it's just a time thing.
I'm concentrating more on these now, and what I'm doing is, I have one small printer that is with the end of my spools. I'm putting them on that printer, and I'm printing them out to run down the small characters, 1 or 2 at a time. Just to use up the remainder of the spool.
Win-win, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So
that's not good to hear, Milan.
What do you say?
He's back in hospital again.
Oh, what is it now?
Hey everybody, non-fan.
Picking squirrels for IC3D.
I guess he makes
flexible squirrels.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, they would if it's your design and you offered it to them, they'd use it. It's down to people offering it to IC3D for this purpose,
Yeah.
A lot of designers have said, "Here's my design," like Joe, the 3D printing professor. All those small little characters.
They're his, yeah.
Nice.
Or MacGy Beer. Those are his dolphin and shark flexibles, and the cat and the dog. Those are his.
Yeah. So that all comes down to them donating, offering, saying, "Here's my mud designs. Your guys can print them if you think they're worth it." And these trains are big, but they are really nice. They come out really, really nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the yellow one, because I did one side blue filament, the other side yellow filament, and I just
mix them over,
around.
cross them over, yeah.
And actually, but like the print quality in these are
great, yeah. And what are you doing them at 20%? Like nice and strong?
About 20%. Yeah. And they're really tough,
And about four
It'll
walls,
take a bit of a
and
beating.
20% to give them. Yeah, 4 walls and 20%, something like that.
Yeah, I always do 4 for these. Or if I'm doing the smaller items, I don't have any here, do I? I don't.
Your chameleons and your...
The chameleons is one. I will do those. They'll be hollow, just all walls, 4 walls only. But they're so small, it's compact anyway, right?
Yeah, and there's no problem bridging them or anything else,
Yeah. And Jason, you're also using a 0.8 nozzle, right?
No. Well, one of them I'm printing a 0.6. The other ones I'm printing a 0.4. So the trains I'm doing in a 0.6 nozzle. Because they're big enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about changing mine. I have plenty of nozzles, so I'm thinking of changing some of mine over to 0.6s.
Yeah.
Mylan, I think, is trying to join.
Oh,
hey, how's it going?
Hey, man.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what happened to you?
Don't say another bus driver.
No.
Have you seen the other guy?
Got an infection, and my intestines and my stomach are swollen. I got an infection, so they got to keep me in the hospital so they can get it go down and everything else. Make sure they don't have to do the bowel obstruction surgery.
So
I hope you start feeling better soon.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been catching the streams. I just haven't been on, so I'm not looking too well. So, but hanging in there.
Well,
that's good.
What's everybody printing these days?
Well, we're just talking about that actually. Well, we're talking about I'm doing toys for tots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So these will be. I think I'm about 700
unicorns.
I haven't done any. I've done only a handful of flexies.
Yeah, I'm only doing the unicorns, and because that Flexi Raptor is really big, and I can get quite a few on there and rent off some more trucks.
Jason?
What's that?
What are you building in the corner behind you?
That a printer. Yeah. It's another 500 by 500 printer.
Rat rig or just something different?
No, it's from 3D. Nice, it's from 3D Fused.
All right.
But it's another kit. So yeah, and there's the wheel. That's the wheels for those cars finishing up, and that's doing one chameleon that I'm tuning in to it, and then I'll do a full bed of it, and that's 126 of them that it'll print at a time in one shot.
Show the unicorn again. Make Amanda happy.
Oh, unicorn, purple unicorn.
What have you been working on, Jerry?
Straightening up my room, getting rid of a bunch of models in 2 different trash cans. I'm printing a blade model right now from Sanix. I was going to order some resin this morning, but since me and my wife went grocery shopping, I can't afford to order resin this month. So I took 3 or 4 different resins I had, mixed them together, shuck them up real good, and I'm getting the model done with that, a blade on a little base.
Yeah, if you don't eat, you can't print, Jerry.
Yeah. Well, I figured
he may stop eating after this weekend, though, Jason?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Nothing may ever taste the same.
No.
Nothing.
No. We've set Jerry a challenge, Milan. He's gone and obtained some Vegemite, an Australian delicacy.
So Vegemite.
Delicacy is a strong word.
No. Well, it's a common breakfast spread. Very common
looks like
breakfast
black
spread.
poop, basically, is what it looks like. I mean, from what I've seen when Kieran put it in his mouth the other day. So
it's mixed with water and then stuffed into a bottle.
Yeah, it is the residue left over after the brewing process, brewing beer.
Yeah,
I read online that it's good on grilled cheeses and a bunch of different things.
Oh, it is. It's great. Great for casseroles.
Don't eat it by itself. So.
Oh no, did eat it by itself. It's umami. It's got that umami qualification for getting tang and salt.
Yeah,
the savory flavors.
Is the sound you're going to be saying when you're out
doing
the toilet.
See, I got a trash can of toilet paper, so I'm all set.
There you
go. But he said he'd do it.
Them both at the same time.
He ordered it on Amazon, and I covered the cost for him, so he's going to do it on the live stream over the week on Saturday night. So it should be interesting.
Yeah. Hey, you are. Chris Travis. Hello, Amanda.
That's funny.
Have you? I see you finished calibrating your boss's printer there too, Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
Leapy Lee's got it all ready for her. You've calibrated and tested it for her. That's very kind of
The
you.
boss's printer, huh, Matt?
It's nice that she's got staff that she can assign
Yeah,
tasks
staff
to.
to assign
No,
to make sure it's all working.
No, Jason, wait now. Staff you pay.
They're not married yet, Liam. They're not married
not
yet.
if they volunteer.
I want to say something, but the other way.
It's military. He's voluntold.
He's voluntold, yes.
Well, Brandy's not on the stream, so go ahead and say what you got to say. Maybe she'll come up and pop you in the back of the head.
Well, you're still on your newlywed, Jerry. Unlike some people, you're a newlywed still.
This
That's nice.
picture
I
is
like that. That's
this
beautiful,
picture is
man.
actually my second dry. It is a little bit bent on top. I don't know if you can see it right there.
Oh yeah.
So it gets.
And that was
better.
printed vertically. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
That's
and
my first try.
well, you can before you cure it, you can possibly lay it flat, and you might be able to get it settled before you put it in the curing machine. After being cured, it won't, because you can't even warm it to flatten it, because resin doesn't react to heat in that way.
Yeah, I've never printed anything that big and flat that's warped on me like that, so I can't really say what caused it. But yeah, before you cure it, like Liam said, try to lay it flat. The minute you hit it, it's dry. It's cured.
Yeah. Jerry is alive. He's here.
I got a question.
He's stream jumping. He's been stream jumping as well.
Yeah, he's
That's
been
like the
around
rest
for
of
the
us
last
today.
week or so. I've seen you all here and there and everywhere.
Matt, I got a
Is
question
there a
for
duck
you.
on the bench?
When you are printing the regular lithophanes,
Correct.
when you're printing the regular lithophanes, what type of printer and what type of paper are you using to print the color to go behind it?
Okay, I have an Epson 2600 ET model. That's my 2D printer.
Is it a
inkjet?
Huh?
It's an inkjet, Matt?
Inkjet.
Epson, yeah. Yeah. No, not inkjet. Yeah, inkjet. It's an inkjet.
Not wax,
Sorry.
it's inkjet, yeah.
Yeah.
What type of paper does it use?
Just
Or
regular
print
paper.
Standard A4 copy paper.
Yeah, photocopy paper. Yeah.
Copy paper?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just regular copy paper.
I thought you said, Matt, you went to like what do you call those places around town where they print stuff for you?
Yeah.
Office
If
Max,
I go
Office Depot.
Yeah, if I go anything bigger than an A3 paper or A4 paper, I mean, because I only can print A4. Because A3 paper, the one like for my lithophane, what hangs in my living room, the elephant one, that one I have to take an A3 paper for it because it's too large.
Now, is there a certain color adjustment you have to use? Because I've seen a couple of the programs I've seen, like the cheaper ones, like It's Litho, it has a tab that says print in color. So is that the tab you click to print on the paper?
Yeah, that's the picture what you put on the on your paper, and then you put it in the back of it.
Oh, okay.
So you
like
put
this one is not glued on yet. Hold on a second, let me change.
That program Luban you were telling me about, is that the program you use to print off your monster cans?
Yeah.
The Luban. I tried to get it, but every time I try and buy it, it's like $75 or something. It doesn't let me do it.
I
thought Luban was free.
No,
Luban you pay for.
Lou Chen over on Facebook. You can tag Lou Chen and talk to him privately if you need to, or go to their website.
Yeah.
Did you say Luban was free now?
No, it's not free.
No, I thought it was.
The guy who makes it is Lou Chen.
Yeah.
You can find him on Facebook, and if you chat with him, if you're having problems purchasing it, he can help you out.
Okay.
He's the developer of it.
A few years ago, I had a great discount on my website for it, but he's changed his policy. So.
Yeah, I like that. I've done some prints for people, and they were wondering if I could do them in color. I said, yeah, it's going to be a little bit.
Well, you can also print. You can also do color lithophanes and go to Lithophane Maker website. They have the option to do color prints as well. That option is in there as well.
I don't, as much as it costs for Luban, I don't think anybody should buy it unless you plan on using it a lot because it's so expensive. If you just want to dabble with it, use the free programs that are out there, unless you really think you're going to be banging out a lot of stuff that justifies paying for it.
I agree.
No, and I got with my my MP3 Max, it was printing fine. Of course, I've been sick and I haven't printed with it in probably a month. Well, I go, I level the bed, everything, stuff like that. Everything's perfectly fine. Put the file in, go to print it, and it's like the head just moves like 2 millimeters off the bed. It won't stay down. So I gotta figure out what I gotta do.
That could be the end, and then it could be the end stop was moved or something. I have a question, Mylan. Since you're
when I put the bed temperature at 60 like normal.
No, I mean it could be either your Z offset, or it could be your bed, or it could be your end stop. Your bed could have moved.
Okay, all right. It's just been a little bit difficult to work on it right now. So
since you're into 3D printing, I have a question for you, Mylan. When you went into the hospital, into the hospital room, did you ask the nurse to level your bed?
Yeah. Or tram the bed. Gotta get trammed.
Yes, it's tramming, Liam.
Well, she had a lower.
Mechanical tramming.
Barely 5 foot tall.
Sorry, low hanging fruit. I couldn't miss it.
The question is, do you get plenty of food filament?
Yeah, I was gonna see if I could bring a printer here with me, but I don't think they're gonna let me. So.
And you know what? You know what's gonna be for lunch tomorrow? Spaghetti.
Oh,
okay, that's all my hospital jokes over.
You joined the wrong stream as usual, Milan.
Hey, but
I like how they come in your room and they say, "Is there anything else I can get you? Do you need anything else? Is there anything I can do for you?" And when you start feeling better, I can think of a lot of things, but I can't say them. They're going to kick me in the face. So
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Then,
I'm ready for my sponge bath now.
Yes, man, they're bad dad jokes, but still, it's what I got,
you misspelled dad, or I think you meant dad joke.
Bad jokes. Bad jokes.
Oh, hey Matt, with your paper, have you tried using parchment paper, which is quite thin and transparent, but also quite stiff, as opposed to the normal A4 paper?
No, I didn't try it yet. I tried the looks like just plastic. It is. I tried to print on that.
The clear
see-through one, the clear one.
Whereas parchment is semi-transparent. I mean, it's got a lot of what do you call it? It's not see-through, but it's quite transparent, and it's thinner. Tends to be thinner than the A4, so it may give a sharper picture when it's printed from behind. That's all.
So the A4 is just your standard printer copy of paper.
That's
80 grams per square
11,
meter.
You should also try. You know that most papers are washed with a detergent, and on a certain types of light they glow a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? So if you try and get paper that does not glow, that does not phosphoresce, that one actually might be better as well, because instead of giving its own glow, all it does is act as a flat diffuser.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Alrighty.
Because normal paper.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. I got 4 into 3s and an into 3 Max, and I don't have a regular printer. I don't have a regular printer, man.
Yeah.
I gotta do something like crap, man. I put all this money on.
Man, no printer. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I don't have a regular printer. I just take my stuff down to the office manager and she prints it out for me. So,
I mean, I've got down here. My laser printer's been broken for 6 months and I haven't got around the road to fix it yet. So my inkjet still works. My laser printer's broken.
Have you had a need for it in 6 months?
Yeah, I have actually. So I have to go to work and use their laser printer to print it off.
The one we have now, I bought it
I don't even know how to put it in my house.
The laser printer we have, I bought it 3.5 years ago, and it's still got the toner cartridge that it comes, the sample toner cartridge that it comes with, and it just turned on blinking.
2 decades.
3.5 years.
My one's a good one. I guess usually it's a lot of use, and so for the good quality stuff I need, I have to go to work to print it, because the inkjet, as you know, is fine for most stuff, but not for the highest quality. That's anything. So.
Well, and the one thing about an inkjet is, you have to use an inkjet regularly, or else it will dry up.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Yep.
it gets
So
clogged,
at least once a week, print one sheet of paper out with every color, like a sheet of paper.
That's my inkjet gets used for the same thing, but it's normally gets used a lot less when the printer's working. Hang on.
Hey, Breakboard, how are you?
That would be too much.
You can come in and join us, Justin, if you have time. The link is there at the very top of chat. Just mute your YouTube. Actually, I think I'm full. I can only have 6 in at the moment. Sorry. Come in later on if it opens up.
I can pop out for a few minutes.
No, you
I'll
don't
be
have
popping
to.
out in
He
about
hasn't
half
said
an
he's going
hour.
to come in.
I've got a Tyler coming to demolish my ensuite in half an hour, so I won't be here on that long.
Oh yeah,
that's the reason I'm home. That's the reason I'm on today, demolishing my ensuite today.
Matt, when I get out of here, Matt, I'll hit you up on Facebook and we'll chat some more about these little things.
All right, cool, no problem.
So,
biscuit time for Jerry.
Oh, butter cookies.
Danish cookies. The Danish cookies. Yeah, the Danish butter cookies. Oh, they're good.
I gotta get at Christmas. They sell them at Walmart year round. They're real good.
Yeah, that was with the guy from that new bell printer. What was the name of it? What's the name of that small bell printer?
Jerry, I just want to let you know you suck. I can't eat right now.
These are really good.
Here, don't say that about Jerry. Look there.
Jerry doesn't suck.
Now he sees it up close.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Lamb. Thanks. I really appreciate it.
I'm always here to support you, Mylan. You know that.
Yeah. Well, why support him means abuse the shit like everybody else does of everybody else here.
Oh, Matt, have you finished that? Thank you, Louise. Have you finished the full-size Badger?
If you've put it all together, you Badger?
Not yet. No, not
Slacker,
yet.
Come on. It's been printed weeks.
In that case, obviously, the giant honey badger is a euphemism for something else then.
There's his honey badger. Look.
Yeah.
Took me 4 weeks to print.
That's resin, right? You done that out of resin?
Yeah. And it fits perfectly in my...
Okay.
In your benchy?
Just do what Zachary was doing with his baby benchy, dropping it everywhere.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Yeah. He couldn't even balance it in his finger.
No, it fell off. Ooh, the ghost benchy. The ghost benchy.
Yeah. They came out really
got something to show and tell. What is it, Jerry?
No, Betty Boop's been waiting for me to paint this for a long time. I've never got it done yet. Betty Boop.
Yeah,
Betty Boop. Betty Boop.
I was just wondering. My voice kind of carries some, and I know my door could be closed a little bit. I don't want to disturb anybody else.
You got 2 doors in here, so there's this one, and then there's one that goes to the hallway.
Okay.
Do you want both of them?
No. I just don't want to disturb anybody else.
Hello, nurse. Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah. Tell her she's live. She's live to the
Come
world.
over and say hi. Tell her to come over and say hi.
Yeah, hello.
Say hi to you guys.
Tell her to come over and say hi to us.
We appreciate all the work you ladies do.
You better take care of him, okay?
Just a cooking channel live on YouTube.
I'm not sure yet. I'm still meeting everybody, but as soon as I know and they're in the computer, I'll get them to you. Okay?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right.
Oh.
They do a great job.
Yeah, that's still swimming in the printer.
They want to flirt with my nurse.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt dropped one of his little badgers in the vat and he can't find it. It's still inside there somewhere.
Is that a typo, Matt?
This is a fan for one of my G-Tech.
Yeah.
A blower.
And it came out really nice. I mean,
yeah,
wow.
resin does a really good job and stuff like that.
I mean, it looks like pressed. Plastic,
it does. Yeah,
it looks injected molded. It comes out so clean. Yep.
Yeah.
So we just told your nurse she has to take care of you, right, Mylan?
Yeah. Don't say it out loud. I'm really trying to get that sponge bath about 12 o'clock.
I think you've ruined that chance now.
I tell you what, if she comes in again, I'll turn the camera around. If she comes in again, and I'll tell her you need one.
Oh, she won't come back in my room after that.
At least it'll make you laugh anyway.
Yeah, but it's going to be funny. So she'll get a giggle out of it. But So what's everyone else working on? I know you're on. Oh, here we have our.
There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you wave?
Say hello.
Wave and say hi. Say hi.
Oh, she's
They're all
shy
waving
now.
at you. No.
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 Oh, she doesn't wave. She doesn't get more stickers.
Yes, indeed. She's got
If
all
you
those
wave, he'll
unicorns.
send you more stickers.
Is that a Barbie doll?
Don't feel
They
bad.
get a little one.
I have more transfers. I'll send you more transfers.
Yeah.
You gonna go play
He'll
with your
send you
doll
more
now?
stickers. He just hasn't sent me
Okay.
any.
No. They're little stickers for NASA Space Place. For his daughter loves them, so I'll have to send them on some more.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to request more stuff off NASA. Actually, my supplies are running dangerously low, so I need to go ask for some more.
Speaking of stickers, there's one for you.
Oh, let's see. Oh, right.
Nice.
You got one of those.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
It's
he
a
has
patch,
them
yeah.
on the shop. Yeah, so got some patches. Yeah.
How long did it take for that to be delivered?
That took
6 months.
No, that took about 4 weeks. That's some of the Jerry's about 4 weeks from the UK.
You know, I was
Because they
speaking
go the other way.
I was speaking with Rene today. He still
Even
has
with gravity.
Customs has still not released those parts to him.
That's crazy, eh? That's
Now,
a dangerous
3
weapon.
weeks. 3
Did
weeks
you
or more now
mention?
in
Did you
Danish
mention
customs.
mace on the top? They both think it's a weapon.
It's this size.
I know. It doesn't stop them. Hello
So
again.
you guys working on a new robot?
No, we've taken a break from it at the moment. Most of us have.
Oh, he's working. I see he's producing a power droid at the moment. A motorized power droid is a new one.
They're also doing a big version of Tito, aren't they?
Well, they had Michael did a really big version of Tito that they did as a private kind of thing for somebody.
For a filament company.
Yeah.
Not the one he's doing now, but for someone out for another company. I think it was for charity. And then he's doing this one now, which is a little bit different from Tito, but basically the same style, drive system and stuff that he's doing for Polymaker.
Polymaker.
But not as big as the other one that he did. Maybe half the size.
Sam showed the power test of that this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Motorized test.
Actually, I might actually speak with Michael about designing the thing for the telescope. He'd be a good man to put together the gearing system for that. So I might reach out to him and see if he's interested in doing it for me.
Might do it.
Yeah, I got a friend of mine that wants me to print that Falcon 9 for his son. So
this one?
Start on that when I get the Falcon. Yeah, when I get out of here, I'll probably start on that for his son.
The one from Blue Band. The one from not Blue Band.
365.
Yeah, 365. Fab 365.
Fab 365.
Yeah.
You pay like what $4.99 for the top half, and then the rocket's another, like the one I have behind me.
Yeah.
Did you say fast?
Yeah, Fab.
Fab.
FAB. FAB 365.
Like fabulous.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
FAB.
You know, Goo, that does all those toys. You fold them together, you print them, and just fold them together, and they're done.
Clip together. Yeah.
Yeah. 365 Fab.
Yeah. I think Liam got his off Thingiverse, but I got mine off Fab, and you get the capsule section for like $4 or something, and then you buy the rest of it, which mine is like this tall. It's behind me.
Yeah, mine's about 3 feet tall.
Feet tall, yeah.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, this one will be about as tall as Liam's. That's about as tall as the son is, about 3 feet.
Yeah.
Well, I think Liam's about 3.5, or maybe you're 4 foot tall, right, Liam?
He's taller standing on his wallet. It's okay.
You know, when Liam done
that's why I sit this way.
When Liam done the video,
Remember, the camera makes you look bigger.
You ain't you're like that one, huh?
When Liam done the video where he's out by all his telescopes and his son was filming it, I'm like, Liam, you should have got down on your knees into your boots, had your feet behind you, and waved at everybody like you're yay tall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we would see him sitting down, we wouldn't know. It's like, well, I thought you were full grown.
What you mean sitting down? I'm standing up right now.
Yeah. He's got a standing desk. He's a standing desk, not a sitting desk.
But he's sitting on some phone books, as far as I know.
Sergio, The other day when I ended my stream, right as I ended the stream and I was closing StreamYard, I seen you pop in the green room right as I closed it. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully this weekend you'll pop in. But I had mentioned I ended the stream and everybody was leaving, and I hit leave studio right as I seen you, and I couldn't even have you in the green room to chat with you. But
we did notice that you left before everybody else. We were all still there by ourselves.
Yeah, I ended it, and then a lot of times people don't want to hang out and chat afterwards, so I left studio.
You want to put her in the water?
Leprechaun. Yeah,
that's funny.
No, not now.
Not now.
You have to take everything off.
She's taking it all off now, Jason.
Well, the doll. It's painted in a soluble paint. Oh, here, show them.
Oh, you can. We washed them and reuse
and
it.
You put it in here with water, and you kind of slosh it around, and the paint comes off, and it reveals however she's painted underneath the permanent paint. Cool. So it's like a mystery thing. Yeah, is that how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah. Secret.
Tuggy do that. And my soul in Mama's phone. And then Mama has that in Mama's phone.
Okay. Oh. It's in Mama's phone somewhere.
Somewhere.
That's
yeah.
Good.
It's not that long ago, so I can still understand that speech. Because you lose it after a while. It becomes harder to understand. And before you have your own kids, it's really difficult to understand young kids, like, you know. But eventually you get the ear for it. And then eventually, as they get older, your ear for it, you hear young kids all the time goes away.
Okay.
I told my nephews to speak English, you know.
Yeah.
And
well, I would think with you hanging around here with us for so long, you can understand it.
Yes, we regress very fast on this channel.
Oh, I had a buddy of mine in Germany, and he was married to a You need me?
No, but I've disappeared.
Oh yeah, bye, Jason.
Yeah, she's got 4 hands. Magic hands.
He knows how to multitask.
Spirit hands.
He was married to a girl from Spain, right? He's German. He's married to a girl from Spain. And when they had kids, when he would correct his kids, when he did it in German, which was his native tongue, they'd ignore him. He'd have to correct them in Spanish because it was their mum was always the important in the house. So he had to speak them in Spanish, otherwise they ignored him. The only way that he could correct him and what they were doing, he'd have to do it in Spanish.
A friend of mine had twins, 2 little boys, and they were little demons. But I tell you what, man, them 2 would have a conversation by themselves for hours on end. You could not understand what I think they even still talk that way to this day.
Hey,
they'd be sitting there arguing and everything else like that. I'm like, I don't know.
Hey, Cleo, if I tell you where it is, I'm no longer hiding it, right? Why would you do that?
Put the top on.
Mm-hmm. Not how it works.
Okay, and Mama's going to help.
That's not how it works.
Ron, you were on the stream with weren't you on the stream the other day with Jim, weren't you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was you.
No, that was Garrett.
Oh, was it Garrett? I thought. Okay,
yeah, but I think this is Ron. I think this is Ron Floyd right here.
Baker's.
Is that where he went to get dinner? Was it Baker's?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Well, yeah. Okay, but no, I thought it was like I didn't see the. I don't think I've seen Ron on before.
I know Ron.
Stream with us.
I know Ron.
He's been in chat before, but I haven't seen him on screen. That's why.
The icon.
Actually, he wanted to come on earlier. He told me.
Well, you see the beard, and you go, "Oh, that looks like the guy that was on Jim's channel, 3D print farm, Garrett."
Actually, well, we can say that about you too, Jerry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I can call.
Okay.
I'm just afraid by the time they look at it or get back to it, it'll pass me.
So his.
Okay, well, if we can try, if not, then I'll give a call about 8:15 then.
All right, sounds good. I'll give it a try. Okay?
All right,
hey, bring Marlon some cookies.
Look,
Can't eat.
I get to order something. I get to order some food.
Yeah,
you get a menu.
Remember, order spaghetti.
See, he gets a menu. See, when I was growing up, you always had 2 options for meals at dinner time.
Jello.
Take it or leave it. That was always your option.
Salt on anything they make in this bland.
Yeah, Jerry, I don't think they have any cookies on here, man.
Yeah, my options were eat it now or eat it later, but that was
either way
it.
You're eating it.
Either way, I mean, yeah.
Great bad time.
Hey, Tripod, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, John.
Hey, John, how are you?
Hey, John, how's it going?
We're trying to get Marlon in trouble with his nurse. The next time he comes in, we're going to scream out. It's time for bed for a bed bath.
Too much 3D printing, you get put in a hospital bed.
Yeah, John, my Kaiwu, I was printing on it the other day, and after 3 or 4 attempts, I finally got a good first layer. Then I tried to do a filament change, and the filament runout sensor did not trip on it, so I just went back to a CR10.
Mm-hmm.
No,
we love it.
Well, did you turn it on?
Mm-hmm.
On the Kaiwu, it should be enabled.
Some printers are. It's on. It may be a menu option to go in and check. I know some of the printers I have, I can turn it on or off.
But yeah, it's kind of irritating. I cut the
film. I'm gonna pop off for a second.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Be right back.
All right, man.
Okay, Justin, pop in.
So Justin or whoever can. Justin said he might be in later because he's tired.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got 10 more minutes, and I'm out of here as well.
So we'll have a couple of spots opening. So Trevor is there, and I know John is out there. So if somebody wants to drop in and say hi, please feel free to do so.
I haven't had Trevor in my stream in like a month or 2. I don't know why he's been in chat, but
I'm sure he's just busy.
Probably just been too busy. He hasn't popped in.
Are you working right now, Trevor?
It's probably he's in Florida. It's 5 o'clock in Vegas. So he's probably closed by now.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock, but he could be getting ready to wrap up too as well.
Yeah, it's about 8 o'clock here too.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a good complaint to have that you're busy.
Yeah. Money. Got to pay the bills.
Whatever pays the bills you do, right?
Pay the rent, and then you get paid, I guess, eventually.
I splurged out and got a nice new filament to try out yesterday. And it came out really nice.
What is it?
This is my ordinary one, which is just black, Creality black, which is just a plain black.
Right. With fuzzy skin.
Oh, very
fuzzy skin. Fuzzy skin. And this is the new one, which is actually a purple black with sparkles in it, which actually came out really nice. That's showing up.
It looks the same, Kieran.
I printed that exact same thing. I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Now I see the difference.
Now they're different, yeah. So yeah. And please, no stringing, come out really nice. No, that's solid. That's actually 4 layers and 15%. That's solid. Yeah.
Okay, because I found it on Thingiverse, and I was going to print out the same one. So
you know the original, yeah, same as Jerry's. It's the original was in vase mode, but they refined it to make the base stronger, so it's actually solid. So it comes out really nice. But in base mode, it's very slow. Sorry, in fuzzy skin. Yeah, Thingiverse, the Verona. Yep, that's the one.
Okay.
But this is done in fuzzy skin, and it came out really nice with the fuzzy skin. No seam shows. It just comes up nice, beautiful texture on it.
Looks nice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, then of course you have to put the normal top on one of the tops. They're a bit tricky. The top's a bit tricky. Getting them to print, put a raft on it, but it comes out okay.
Omaha, Nebraska. Is that what you're talking about, Ron? I was born in Lincoln.
Actually, I'm going to rub it in now. If you had an IDEX, you could print them as one piece.
Yes, but would it look as nice?
Oh, I don't know. It would. You can I get really clean prints out of IDEX.
No, the joining surface wouldn't really work on the IDEX for the top part. Fitting it vertically won't really work because of the way it's bridging. People have tried it in one piece and it fails every time using multi-printer or multi-head.
Canada represented in the house.
Hey, Mr. Tim.
In the house, eh?
Hey, how are you?
I'm pissed off with you, Tim. I am very annoyed with you, Tim. I went to all that effort of giving you money for your boo-boo fund, and you didn't even use it. Come on, that's just not good enough.
Well, he's got 62 more streams to get the rat rig done.
True. Oh, there is that. Good point.
What's that?
To use my boo-boo fund. I put money in for his boo-boo fund on the stream for him.
Because he's always hurting himself.
Okay.
It's the Dremel press.
It's a juicer.
A what?
Juicer.
Juicer. It's a juicer.
Lemon juicer.
Well, it's a Dremel press that I'm going to actually use as well. I'm going to adapt it. There's going to be
soldering on by any
soldering
chance?
iron go in here, and
for inserts.
Push in those
neural inserts.
Yeah.
Perfect for
so
that.
It's great for pushing inserts into parts because you get level, even pressure, and so.
I just heat up my soldering iron, hold it in my hand or on the table, just press it in real carefully.
Yeah, I've tried that and it works, but I've done it crooked before. And then also I've got tips for my soldering iron coming in that are actually made for pushing those inserts in there.
A lot of that melted filament comes back up inside the threads occasionally.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you get if you that happen if you use the one that he's got the right tip for them. He says he's coming in, so the proper tips. They actually do not allow the filament to come back up through the hole.
It drops all the way down the neural insert. Okay.
Yeah, they're actually designed to be the same depth as the inserts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, don't use a regular soldering iron tip unless you grind it down.
Yeah, he's lucky, John. He gets the booby fund. He's allowed a booby fund.
John, I think that was taken out of context.
you just get your extinguisher fund, and it's easier. The booby fund's more fun.
That's staying on screen for the rest of the night.
The boo-boo fund. Boo-boo.
Okay, go to my PayPal and donate to my boob fund.
You know, John,
it's a boo-boo fund, not a booby fund.
You know what, John? Jealousy doesn't look good on you, and you really shouldn't have put that in the chat. Because if you're jealous, it's just sad. Sad.
Hey, Ron, have you ever heard of a little village called Murdoch? I lived in a village. I don't know. It wasn't too far away from Lincoln and Omaha. It was called Murdoch, little tiny town. So it's where I'm from. When I was little, I moved to Vegas when I was 5 years old. Now I'm old.
Is that out of Nebraska?
Yeah. It had one gas station, one grocery store, one bar.
It's probably not even there anymore.
One traffic light that was always green.
Yeah, it's still there, but the price on houses back there are really, really expensive. Little tiny farming community, but it's called a village, not even a town.
I drove through Nebraska on the way to Casper.
I'm sorry.
Wyoming.
Casper, yeah, Wyoming,
yeah. Went out for the eclipse, so I drove through Nebraska.
to see if my demolition guy turns up, and we'll see how that goes. So I'll leave you guys in peace and quiet.
Have a great night.
And look after yourself, Milan. Hope you get better soon.
Take care.
I'll see you.
Take care.
See you, Karen.
See you, Karen.
Well, anytime you need to chase Karen away, just invite me in, obviously.
That's right. We'll go for the B team. Who said that?
Well, since he said that, we have to bring the topic back up. So the booby fund has to come back on the screen then.
There we go.
Well, guys, let me take a break here for a minute. I got to get some help to go to the restroom.
Okay.
So,
alrighty.
And don't forget the sponge bath.
Oh, that was
He's gone.
Yeah, in the hospital, you got to take your pole with you, man. Everything's a pain.
I know, yeah.
Oh, man.
What have we been up to? Yeah, we're all busy. Tim is busy with his rat rig build, and we'll be done by Christmas. We won't say what year, but it'll be done by Christmas.
For my birthday.
Well, having a kit, it's fun building it. That's the fun of it. If you just fly right through it, you're missing out on all the fun. Take your time, enjoy what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
If it was pre-built, a lot of people probably wouldn't buy them. They'd rather build it and have fun doing it.
Yeah. I know, but we have to give them a razzing over. Like we give you a razzing over a 2-day build for your Prusa Mini, right?
Yeah.
So I have to give everybody a razzing over it.
Yeah, people were saying in advance, no, you only put in 4 screws and 3 plugs. I said, no, this is a kit. This is like 200 or 300 pieces.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Was it really 300 pieces though?
Well, I don't remember. It was a lot of pieces. But
hey, this is.
You got to wait up to 16.
I think it was like 30.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts.
Yeah. I got the little Jeep done.
Yeah, I have a pile of those.
Yeah.
You know, I find some filament. I printed a whole bed of them in one filament type,
Mm-hmm.
and the wheels didn't fit really good.
You got to flip them over. Oh,
no,
which way did you print them?
No, I printed them flat, but it wasn't the orientation. The wheels didn't fit very well because the filament had no give, zero give. You know, like they're on pins, so they're supposed to squeeze together to slip the wheels over. It had zero give, and the exact same settings with other filament worked fine.
Wow.
And it was PLA, but there was zero give in it. I mean, it was rock solid.
Blow torch like I would do, and then pop them on.
I was going to use a heat gun just to warm it, to warm the plastic more. But I've stopped doing those anyway because they don't take an awful lot of time. So I've switched over doing I have 2 printers now doing, or 3 printers doing the trains. So I have one. I have one printer just doing one train at a time. It's a small printer. And then I have my 2 IDEX doing 2 trains, doing 2 at a time on each one.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got, I'm trying to use up leftovers of stuff. So printing out what I can on the spools, and then, and it's good because I have a feeling like, a lot of what's going to be printed is going to be printed in like red and black and blue and yellow and green and, and not a lot like this, but there's going to be girls that want to pick stuff out.
Well, I've done
I've
done some of the trains actually. I've started today. I did a set today, and I have another set started. I'm doing trains in pink.
Good.
So because there's going to be some girls that like the trains and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm mixing it up.
Yeah, I've got some pink silk that I've got left over that I used something for.
I had a lot of pink silk. I've been using the pink silk for the little bunnies and the penguins, or the bees and the penguins. I'm using the pink silk for that as well. But I'm running my supplies are running low. So an IC3D won't be shipping for another few weeks. They said.
Oh, I missed that. I thought because they were supposed to ship 2 days ago.
The end of the month.
Yeah,
but they said no. They're working on some logistics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll be good and used up what I have by then for sure. So. Yeah,
IDEX is cool, and I agree with you. But Trevor, I have 3 IDEX. So if one of my IDEX goes down, I still have 2 more IDEX to keep going. So. But I agree. If it's your only printer and that goes down, then you have the equivalent of 2 machines down. I would agree. PETG can be good for some snap-in parts, but you must remember when PETG cools, it shrinks. So if you print the wheels for those little cars, as an example, if they compress, you may not get them on again. So you'll have to print them. You may end up trying 1 or 2 of them and ending up increasing the size by 1 or 2% to make sure they go on after they cool down.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of an IDEX fanboy. Yeah, I'm open. I'm happy to admit that. I have another one coming.
Oh, geez.
Next month. Yeah, in the next month or so. I'm just waiting on the shipping number. But like the wheels and the trains have a lot of give. The wheels in the cars and those small little cars don't have a lot of play.
They were tight, snapping them on. Yeah, I almost timmed myself once or twice.
Almost timmed yourself? You almost did a tim?
Liam, you have 3 IDEX printers now. Which one is your go-to? Everybody has a favorite printer.
I like them all, and a lot of people have the 10 log works great. I don't have a problem with it. And the JG Maker works really, really good too. A lot of people really came hard on the JG Maker. That's off the JG Maker. You can't like that's a fantastic print.
So you randomly use any of the three, or you typically always go to one printer?
I generally would go to overall. Like I would generally go to the 10 lug or the JG Maker, depending on what I'm printing. If I like the 10 lug has got a glass bed, so if I want to do something on a glass bed, I'll go to that. The JG Maker has a flex steel that's coated with the PVC. You know, the black, like what do you call it? You know, the black really soft stuff, but it's glued onto the steel. I can't remember what they call that type of bed, but it's kind of like a textured.
The textured magnet that's real flimsy that everybody hates.
Yeah, but it's like that, but it's glued to steel.
Okay, a flex plate.
Yeah,
spring steel flex plate.
Yeah, and if I want something that I don't need a perfect sheen on the bottom, or if I prefer for PLA, the JG Maker is fantastic because you can do. You saw me last week. I just dumped the whole pile of stuff off here on the table. Remember?
Yeah, Trevor has those TH3D and different people. Trevor, for my birthday, gave me one behind me that I'm finally printing on my CR10 Max. If you can see it behind me, I'm doing a part of my Star Wars on it. First time I've used his flex plate.
Trevor, Kaibu just announced their IDEX printer.
Yeah, he's probably seen them over on Facebook.
Yeah, so they have announced it. Mm-hmm. I've pointed out a few issues. Like I was talking with them on about a few things they need to change because they're not doing it to make it easy for the end user. The 10 log is a good machine. I have that machine. Well, let's see what else here. Horsepower is junk. Okay. PEI it's I don't have any PEI sheets. I have one PEI sheet that I haven't installed yet, but it will be going onto my that PEI
build tech.
The build tech. That's
Here's
stuff.
Trevor's flex plate if you want to make me big.
Yeah, I don't have I use mostly glass beds. Dwayne, brother Canadian.
Is that a Mark II body, Jerry?
Let's see CR10 Max.
Take care,
no, the print. It's a Mark II.
I think it's Mark III is what it's called, right?
Is it the 3? Okay. Well, there's 2 of them. Well, there's a couple of them, but yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's the Mark III, and there's a lower section that's about 6 inches tall, and the other one appears to be about a foot tall. So I'm doing the smaller of the two. And I'm using
glass beds.
PTG from Ziltech. See, I got it kind of going up and over right there.
Yeah.
Over that bracket.
Yep.
Because I was printing on the Kaiwu the other day, and then I finally got a good layer going down. I was time lapsing it on the prints, but then I went to do a filament change and it wouldn't swap, so I just shut it down. And I went over here to my CR10 over there in the corner that I'm currently printing a sign on that Andrew S made me.
Trevor has a question for you, Jerry. He said, "Why is there clips when it's magnetic bed?"
Because there's a little clip on the CR10 Max that wouldn't clip back over the flex plate. So I went ahead and put 2 clips on the front of it to hold it down.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're going to print something that big, that solid, if you're going to put 2 kilos of filament onto that bed, I would probably clip that flex plate down too. Depending if it was embedded magnets, maybe not, but if it's the stick-on
the CR10 Max
sheet,
has that really big aluminum sheet, and I didn't want to put the magnet directly on the build plate underneath it, so I put it on the aluminum sheet and then I just laid it down, and it can slide around. And those clips that are on it aren't thick enough to grab it, so I took a pair of pliers and I snapped the front 2 off.
Okay,
and, the ones are on the back that are just butted up against. So
you didn't use the magnet?
Yeah, I did use a magnet.
Oh, you did use the magnet. Okay.
The aluminum build surface comes off the CR10 Max.
Mm-hmm.
Because I sat here one day on a live stream and I peeled off the magnet. I peeled off the. I don't remember.
Can you see how you?
Anyway.
Yeah, he's okay.
All right.
Well, I the only flex steel that I have one of my JG Maker, which I love. Hot glue. Oh no, not hot glue. Blue tape.
With a glob of hot glue in the middle.
With a glob of hot glue in the middle.
And let it push down until it squishes out flat.
Actually, that's one way of making sure if you've got an uneven bed, put something in to raise the center up. But no, so my JG Maker has one, and I have a flex steel bed PEI sheet that I'm going to put on my Focus printer. I haven't done it yet, but I plan to. See, it must be karma. I mentioned the word blue tape. Look who appeared.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
See, you just mentioned blue tape and he turns up. Hey Jake, how are you?
Oh, he sounds like Salty Llama.
Actually, if it's low in the center, I'd use aluminum foil because that will carry heat.
Yeah.
Over tape. Stop cheating, do it. Oh, you're being called out.
I'm not cheating. Who's what?
Kieran's calling you out for cheating.
Kieran called you out for cheating.
I'm not cheating.
We see you at the rat rig, and that's supposed to get that to your live stream.
He cheated with the linear rails. He cheated with the bearing stacks. Now he's cheating on the belts.
No. I'm not aligning the belts. I'm checking them, but I haven't aligned them.
Do you want to jump on and talk about it, Trevor? The link is at the top of chat. You can come in and join if you want to.
I'm fascinated by how they work, to be honest.
Yeah, my magnet on the CR10 Max is on top of the aluminum build plate, which lifts off the printer, and the bed underneath it, which has a roller attached. What do you call it? The bed? Aluminum bed, and then the plate sits on top of that. I don't want it to shift and move from the weight or something happening, so that's why I clipped the front of it.
Yeah, but magnetic beds, if you have it glued, if you have the
magnetic bed is on a removable aluminum sheet.
All right. So,
the aluminum sheet sits on another aluminum sheet that can just be lifted off.
Okay.
I put the clips on to help hold it in place so something don't get bumped and twist the whole thing sideways.
Okay.
And just like when I put a magnetic flex sheet on a CR10, I have mirrors on my CR10s. I got off the original glass. I put a mirror on them. Then at some point, I stick my magnetic sheet on top of the mirror. That way it's perfectly flat. I got off the glass. The mirror on it.
Hey, Trevor.
I take off. It's been a while. How you been?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Busy.
You got audio feedback. Mute your YouTube.
How you been?
I'm good. Hello?
That's
you go.
better.
Nice to see you.
Yes. It's been busy.
Oh, you're building Ender 5 Pluses. Nice. I love that machine.
They're set up with micro Swisses, flex plates, got them calibrated, ready to go. My store's a mess, man.
Cool.
I got printers just
all over. Hey, you're like tripod. You got floor printers.
His work.
Business has been good.
That's good. That's a good complaint, right?
Good.
Did that storm hit you? How was the storm recently?
Oh, I think we got rain for a day. Hey, Karen. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get any rain. New Orleans got botched up, but
yeah, floor printers, right? Buddies like you.
That's every hurricane.
I'm one of those people. I've been to New Orleans enough times. I'm sorry if you live there. You know what you're getting into, man.
Yeah, I asked my wife. I said, since you went down and met Trevor, he hasn't been on my live stream. What happened? Is he mad at me? She goes, no, I think he's just really busy.
Business has been good.
That's good.
It's a great complaint.
I'm here in Florida, obviously, and we have Probert Field here, which is Special Ops headquarters of the world. I was there in 93 to 99, lifetime ago, but every night I hear the gunships firing, making my walls shake. It's great. And I got some buddies that are still up there. And one guy went to the Pentagon and their new gun they're firing. I got the job to 3D print it for him to train on.
Cool.
And it's a live firing gun. So between that and everything else, it's been crazy.
Nice.
Sweet. Nice job.
Oh, well, it's people have helped me get that job, but it's nice,
Are you doing it on FDM or what?
A little bit's on resin, but it's a Gatling gun, so it's FDM.
Awesome. Gotta
So are you going to get the full 40,000 they're going to pay for the plastic gun?
Actually, believe it or not, they pay 10,000 for the real one. So I told them before I give them a price, I've got to print it and assemble it, because printing is easy. I put 8 printers on it, and I was done in 3 days. The problem is assembling it. I mean, this has to actually cycle the rounds, for training.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take 10 times the effort to get it to actually work and cycle and function than to print it.
It'll still have a lot of metal parts, right?
86 pages, huh?
It'll still have a lot of metal parts: springs, firing pins, barrels.
The barrels are all printed. It's brass tubing for inside.
Okay.
And springs and inset screws. But yeah.
Nice.
That's a fun project.
3D Print General has been doing a lot of 3D printed type things.
Yeah.
On the channel.
Oh my God. Yeah, that guy's the bomb, man. It was awesome. I got to meet him on your channel. Wow. I mean, that guy is legit. He has a lot of videos out and stuff, and I look at what he does, and it's the real deal. It's not just joking around. In fact, the guy that went to the Pentagon to help make sure that this was allowed, he's into 3D printing guns, and he went as far as, I guess the 3D printing professor came up with something where he takes plastic and he wraps wire around it, and then they put power onto it, and it actually creates the coil inside for the rifling. And they went to a big match and shot him like that. Because
the coil would heat it up and melt the barrel.
I would like to 3D print like an AR-15 or something, mostly printed with what parts I had to do in metal. I'm just afraid the thing would blow up in my face.
Well, what they do is they take a kit and they just screw it into the plastic. You have metal rails, metal slides. It's not all plastic. All you're making is what was polymer you're printing.
Okay.
Now, some of these guys do get in more exotic, and they start printing more stuff than I would feel comfortable shooting printed. But they've come up with different techniques to do it too, and ways to do it. They're kind of crazy.
What's the French one that's actually fiberglass? The whole body is fiberglass.
French? I don't know.
There's a French semi-automatic.
I always like
because it was fun. I can't remember what it's called right now. But, just as I was leaving the military, they were getting these, and on the very first day, they're supposed to be able to roll over them with a tank. And the very first day that our guys were giving them, they were doing drill.
You broke them.
And one of the guys dropped the magazine and it shattered on the ground. And you're supposed to be able to drive over these with a tank and still shoot them afterwards. But on day one, these were brand new designs, and one of the guys was putting the magazine in, and he didn't lock it all the way in, and he brought the weapon up, the magazine fell out and shattered on the deck. So.
Tell you what, I got a fully automatic BB gun the other day, and that's so much fun to shoot.
Oh, gas power, yeah.
Oh my God! I never would have thought it was so much fun. I mean, just fun.
Oh, by the way, did anyone see the Astra rocket launch?
Is that the one that just blew up again?
No. You have to see this, because it instead of going up, it went for a walk.
It went sideways.
It went sideways. Let me watch the screen. I'm going to share here.
No, it went sideways because the first stage or the second stage didn't ignite.
No,
and it was burning off fuel.
One of the first stage rockets, one of the first stage motors did not ignite, and it tilted over and went off. It wasn't the second stage; it was stage one.
Yeah, their system took care of it perfectly, like it was designed to, and it
did.
There.
Yeah, but it didn't have enough. With one of the engines down, it didn't have enough thrust to actually go vertical, and until it used a lot of fuel. But it was cool to watch.
I read the NASA report, and I think they had a problem on 2 of their other ones as well. Like, this is the 3rd malfunction they've had, I think.
Yeah, they've been trying to get this thing to launch. So this is what happened, right?
Elon got it down. You saw what Jeff Bezos now is trying to sue him.
Yeah, but that's just sour grapes.
Yeah,
he didn't win.
He's sour because they downgraded him to not being an astronaut. That's why.
Well, that's because and it wasn't NASA. That was the FCC.
It was the FAA.
Or FAA,
he's
sorry.
going into space. He's not an astronaut, man. He's just a spoiled billionaire.
Well, what happened was they deem being an astronaut if you go and you're part of a crew, not a passenger.
It was also by height. He didn't go far enough out.
No, he did. He went over the Kármán line.
Yeah.
He went to Kármán. Once you cross the Kármán line, you're officially at what's called the brim of space. And he went beyond the Kármán line. So that is space, but because he was
a space traveler, but not an astronaut.
Correct. Right. Yeah, he's a space tourist.
What I'll say is he's not using his superpowers for good, like Batman and Elon Musk.
Batman and Elon Musk.
I just PM'd Sean, but he's not answering.
He has sweatshop conditions in his workhouses when he has enough money to have great employee conditions. And I just, what I see is he's not helping. He's trying to compete, right? You know, Elon got it figured out. Just figure out how to help Elon get to the next level.
He's going to do that on his own.
Well, exactly. But what we see is billionaires all kind of just trying to be dicks here. And I don't know. I don't feel like they're helping out for the common good. I mean, if you're a billionaire, shouldn't you already be helping out for, you know, everybody else that's not, you know, that's not eating and, you know, living on the street, you know, but maybe you could help out here a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I love Elon. He's not perfect, but look at what he's doing. He's trying.
Well, he's using his own money for a lot of stuff, and whereas Bezos wanted NASA to pay for it.
He's putting a lot of people to work, so.
You know, I do believe in the right to repair. And so, you know, that's one thing Elon and me kind of disagree on. But otherwise, I think he's using his superpowers for good.
Yeah, this is where it failed. Stage 2, it went off track, and they actually terminated the flight.
I thought it didn't ignite, and they had to burn off the excess gas. Is what it is.
No, it went off track. It went off its flight path. And once you go off the flight path, they have to kill it because it'll go over land and stuff and endanger people.
Headed towards North Korea, so they had to abort.
Well, why would they abort that? You just said to keep going.
Hey guys, I gotta run.
All right.
Yep, I gotta run. But good seeing everybody.
Take care, Jason.
Take care.
Bye now.
Jason. You know,
3D Print General, I just hit him up on Facebook, but he's probably busy, didn't see my DM. 3D Print General wants been 3D printing some guns online. I had him on my channel a couple months ago. I PM'd him and I sent him a YouTube link, but he didn't respond, so he's probably busy.
Yeah, but I like what SpaceX is doing, and I like that he's using his own money to do most of the work. And the fact that he's getting contracts out of it just means he can get it done faster.
Commercial is going to get us there. Whereas
commercial is going to do it over space. I agree.
It's because you take the military, for instance, and in one day, again, a couple years ago, but one day we would spend $1 billion between Afghanistan and Iraq. And then you take the NASA budget, and in 50 years, it didn't equate to one day of military spending. What are you going to do with that? That's not enough money to do anything.
Yeah, but the private industry,
they can and they will, because we can mine satellites.
They have motivation
in space. Look at China; they're talking about building a mile-long space station. No, why don't we have that already?
Yeah, and they will do it, right? They'll build it
because they're going to make it happen. Whereas we could have. We need an initiative to make Americans happy to be in America again. We don't have anything except people trying to break us apart between our color and LGBT, whatever we are. Everybody's about to, they're breaking us apart. It's not like before where we had the Mars initiative or in the 70s where we had the Moon Initiative. And all of a sudden, being American was we're going to the moon. And we had a national pride.
Yeah.
We don't have this anymore, and we need it. And somehow going to Mars, that's just kind of, you know, unless Elon takes us there, we're not getting there.
Well, he is.
Well, he will. Boeing ain't going to do it. We know that much. NASA's been babying Boeing and lying about their mistakes and lying about their failures and helping them out on contracts for 20 years now.
Well, the latest one with the Starliner is that it's gone back to that they failed to open some of the valves that needed for the emergency escape.
Yeah,
and now they've shipped it back to the factory again.
They had valve problems on the last launch too, though.
No, the last one was not valve. The last one was software.
Maybe it was the one before that, but they've had valve problems before.
Maybe, yeah, but this last Starliner attempt they actually went to space.
You see Elon's new jet with that arm that grabs. In fact, they're talking about the new one that's landing. He's probably going to grab it.
Well,
1 hour.
Yes, that's for the booster. That's the booster. Yes.
Yeah.
So on Starship booster and the super heavy booster. Yeah, the super heavy booster. He is putting catch arms on the launch tower.
They're
so the
on
plan is when it comes back and actually comes back into land like a Falcon 9.
Yeah, I've seen one arm already installed. Yeah.
One arm already installed, and he just launched it to the space station. And they're thinking,
no, that's different. That was a resupply mission. That was different.
They're thinking on the next one it's going to land there, like within the next. I think I read next 10 days.
Tomorrow and Friday, they've got a road closure tomorrow and Friday. For what reason, I don't know.
They could be doing cryo testing and they could be doing a few other things. That's why they have road closures. Because there's no schedule.
Well, I know why they have road. There's some kind of a test going on, of course.
Yeah. They could be doing a static fire or they could be or whatever because they haven't gotten the FAA approval for the exclusion zone.
He doesn't wait.
No, he has to.
He had a launch 2 months ago. He didn't wait. They don't know.
And now, because of that, he has to wait every time now before he launches. A member of the FAA has to be there to do an inspection before he can actually push the button.
Yeah, they said the FAA needs to rewrite how they do everything. There's too many companies going up and doing this and doing that, and their current way of processing things doesn't work. So they need.
It's too slow. Yeah, it's too slow.
Oh, careful, baby.
But the plan is that eventually, when Starship comes in, they're actually two arms are going to close around it.
They need to get Jason. They need to get Jason down there to say, "You're good. Let's go." You know, have Jason down there.
There you are. Say hi.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, Jerry.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hello.
Talk.
Hello.
Straight back in. I'm busy. Don't bother me, Dad.
She had one waiting. As soon as I pulled it out, she had another one in there.
That's good business acumen. You have a backup plan. But yeah, so I can't wait to see what he does with Starship, and like even though Bezos has tied up NASA in this lawsuit that he's put a stop build, and the only thing he's put a stop build on, if you really think about it, the stop build is only on, our stop work is only on the moon landing system.
Yeah, but he's still botched up. He's still
No, but he doesn't stop him. It stops him and NASA working on the moon system, but it does not stop him working on his launcher or his boosters or doing orbital testing and so on. It does not impact that because that's not part of the NASA contract. The NASA contract doesn't start until he's in space, where they do in-space refueling and moon landings.
What sucks is he's trying to botch it up, you know.
He's trying to slow it down.
Okay,
what really happened is NASA had a small budget.
Well, if we ever get to the moon, NASA's going to be happy and go, "Yeah, we finally made it!"
Again. You left out the word again there, Jerry.
What I'll say is, I believe we had a backup plan to make it look like it happened if it didn't, but we went there.
What? I'll tell you the truth, right? They brought in. They decided they were going to do all of this. They were going to fake it, but they decided to do it to actually fake it on set, on scene. So they actually went there to record it.
we'll eventually know, right? It's like the movie Saturn 3, I think it was.
Why so many people doubt their own government?
It's not that doubting the government. There's people who doubt everything, but just because they want to be different.
It's so childish.
Right there, baby. Look, they're waving at you. She got side cutters. She's got all my tools here that she probably shouldn't have. Hammer, you know.
No hammers.
Liam, make me big for a minute.
Okay, 1 second. Okay.
Have your daughter look at the camera.
Hey, look. Oh, look.
Jesus Christ.
Trying to scare her.
Can't take more than that.
Yeah, she builds printers. That's nothing to her.
She helps. We'll leave it at that. I don't know about builds, but she helps.
She helps make it hard for you to find your tools when you need them.
Hey, did you see what I reposted on Facebook the other day? Salem's Lot, they're remaking Salem's Lot.
Oh, really?
I found a picture of that really gross-looking, what do you call it? Demon-looking dude. I posted on Facebook, and I said, tonight when you go to bed, I'm going to be in your closet or under your bed. And I had that picture on the screen. It's pretty funny.
I saw
the vampire-looking creature thing, yeah.
The Salem's Lot was a like for its time was a great movie.
Yep. Really
The other one that was really good was The Fog, the original Fog.
Yeah,
that was Stephen King, wasn't it?
They never concluded it. It went so far, even with the series, and then it's like, okay, where's the rest of it?
I never saw the series.
I hate when shows do that, and then they terminate, and you're like, okay, we want to see more, and they don't conclude it.
Yeah, but the original movie, The Fog, was probably one of the first horror movies I ever saw. And like that's a great movie. And Salem's Lot. That was David Lee Roth, wasn't it?
No, I don't think he's played in any movies.
He's a singer.
Yeah.
Hey, come out here. They're about to kick us out.
All right, Trevor.
All right, take care.
Good night.
Bye.
Who was it then?
Thank
You're thinking Tim Roth.
Say goodbye, Jay. Say goodbye.
Was it Tim? No.
Tim Roth? No?
Lead singer for Van Halen is David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
Let me try and remember his name. David Soul. Sorry.
Starsky and Hutch. David Soul.
David Soul was the primary actor.
I played in Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah.
Don't give up on us, baby. That's David.
Okay, I'm going to be. You're lucky I'm not monetized.
For singing. Oh no, yeah, right.
I think you can sing it, whatever, because you sang it. It's not original. And then it's
they just ding me because it's Tim singing.
It'd have to be over 10 seconds. You know, you can if you are monetized. There is I forget where I seen that, but you can pay for the rights to have whatever in your stream, and you won't get dinged for it because you're paying so much a month to a service to use whatever. So it is allowed under certain circumstances.
What was it? $20 or $30 a month is what it is, and then
I try to keep everything under 10 seconds. I've never been dinged on video clips. I don't think there's a set time, but as long as I keep it under 10 seconds in the video, I've never been bothered.
Yeah, they've dinged me once or twice, and it wasn't even music that was public.
Yeah,
it was. I had the rights to it, and I argued it. I disputed it, and I won.
Well, I remember with Matthew for the Ghostbusters, he's not Nicholas. He's coming back, but he's been on a hiatus for a while. He plays the entire Ghostbuster theme at the beginning, but he's not monetized yet. But when he is, every single one of those will be demonetized, but you can't play the whole song.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
he's got to have a real short clip or a whole bunch of real short clips.
But Dominic, that's the case for most books. If you there's few books that are few movies that match up to the book. I think Lord of the Rings is pretty good. It's not exactly the same, but it's very close. But there's a lot of others out there that are like they take way too much creative license in the movies in comparison to the book. It happens an awful, and sometimes to the point that the stories are not even the same anymore. So, but that's common, you know. But so, other than the rat rig, what are you working on, Tim?
Not much. Just it's the first time I've been down in the basement since Sunday, so not a whole lot. I've actually got my. I think I mentioned it on Sunday. FlashForge finally released a really good version of their flash print slicer, so I've done a couple customer jobs on that printer. And yeah, not a whole lot otherwise.
That's an IDEX, isn't it?
What's that? It's an IDEX. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's Creator 3. I'm trying to come up with a solution for. I want to mount this close-up camera, but I want to have the head of it on something that I can suspend from the roof that I can just freely move this camera around and in a place. So I'm brainstorming. I don't know.
What about one of those brackets with all their it's a ball and a clip over it, and you have a series of them.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah. I've got those on. I got those on a little thing for my dive lights, which with the balls and you can twist them around and stuff. But I'm just. And then there's the way I got to secure it to the ceiling, and it's got to be long enough. So that may be the solution. But
one second, I heard one of my printers beeping at me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, my power backup has been beeping about every 5 minutes. I'm sure everybody's heard it for the last hour and a half now. It's got a mute button on it. The mute button's not working because I've got my Max and one of my CR10s running at the same time, and it keeps kicking my whatchamacallit on. So I forget the brand name of it. So everybody in chat, what have you been working on? What's going on? What's new?
Yeah, talk to us, chat.
Yeah. Yep. See, there it is beeping now.
Yeah, it's just a print job finished.
So
I popped off the part and hit print again.
Yeah, I was explaining that mine's beeping every 5 minutes. I've got two printers running. My power backup on the floor keeps beeping every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I've muted it. It doesn't work.
Yeah, no, mine was just telling me the job had been done and I need to pop the part off the bed and then hit go again.
Awesome, Dominic. We were just asking chat what's everybody working on? What are they doing while you were gone?
Cool. So when you oh, cool. So your hex wrenches are also hammers.
It's a hammer too. It's cool.
Oh, I moved my laser. The one I had sitting next to me, Liam, that I built, the do-it-yourself laser. I put that in next to the K40, and I'll probably take the camera like Tim has there. I'll set it in there, and I can run a USB over, and I can monitor it. So if I'm here working, I want to keep an eye on the print, obviously, while it's going. I can just pull it up in Stream OBS and just have it windowed, and I can watch it to make sure it's okay.
Yeah. Are you going to put an extractor by it?
I'll have to wait and see. I'll have to do something if I make a big mess.
A lot of materials will burn, like they'll give a lot of smoke, like wood and so on. Yeah. So you want to have some sort of extraction system nearby. Even if you had, like, I know you don't have a window there by the K40, but if you had a window, put a fan on the window that blows the air outwards.
Well, I've got the duct coming off the K40 with that bigger black fan that I bought that pulls a lot of air. I guess if I tapped into that, I could put some kind of an exhaust hood over top of it, and as the fumes rose, it would draw it out.
Or even behind it, so it'd actually pull air from that towards the back out of it.
Something like that.
One or the other would work, yeah. So what you never told me? What is the engraving volume on that laser that you built?
I'll have to go measure it. 1 second.
Approximate is all.
All right.
No, I want exact within 1/10 of a millimeter.
You're lucky you're in Canada because he can smack you otherwise.
They need a virtual smack button on these chats.
Yeah, but what was that in IRC? You could actually smack someone with a wet fish or a wet trout. Remember that IRC chat?
Gosh.
Yeah, that's old school. It's still heavily used. I was surprised to find it's still used a lot.
Really?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
The inside frame volume is 20 by 17.5. Of course, the head can't travel that far, but when I measure the inside frame, it's 20 by 17.5 inches.
So you're probably losing an inch all the way around.
Yeah, it's good size.
Yeah. That's a nice volume.
Cool. And all my extrusions 500 by 500, but then I've got overlap, obviously, where I put it together at, but millimeters.
Yeah. Sweet. Let's see here. His double is. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've used everything as a.
Here, Tim. Here, catch. He don't get it.
He doesn't. There he goes.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
Now it'd be even cooler if he actually had one. It'd be cooler if he had one of those 3D printed, and he could pull it out and show us.
Well, this is an avocado.
I know. But if he 3D printed something that looked like an avocado and he grabbed it.
Yeah, well, Kieran had that print earlier, and I went and I held this up, and Jason goes, "No, that's an avocado."
We need to do that. All four of us get the same thing, and then here I'll pass it to Jerry.
Each other, yeah.
Down to Matt.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That went worldwide.
So at least it's an avocado he's dropping and not something else in your head.
Could be worse.
It could be an amble.
I was thinking something else, but okay.
Yeah. Could be one of these tools, or I could just.
No, don't do that. You'll end up injuring yourself.
Can't reach you, Matt. Oh, no, Jerry, I don't know.
Well, no. What you do is you ask Louise. Louise, go into the other room, and when Tim stretches out his hand, you smack him upside the head.
Yeah. No, don't give her any idea.
Louise will do it too. Watch.
Betty Boop's not here with me, so go ahead. Come in, Louise.
Yeah, no, but Louise will do it. Yeah, Louise, she'll do it for us.
Oh, she's watching too. Yeah, there we go.
She's on, so she'll do it. She'll help us out.
Oh, she's probably coming any moment now. Thanks, guys.
Anytime. Anything we can do to bring you two guys to get closer together.
Matt, you won't get abused till after you get married. She's saving it. So once you're married, then it'll happen.
The entrapment.
No, that's not. No. Don't worry, it's not that bad. Marriage is not as bad as they say. It's worse. Look! See, I knew she was going to do it.
No. Don't give her any ideas, please.
Well, don't worry. We'll give her plenty. Don't worry.
Yeah, guys, I think I have to head off now. So.
Oh, you see, he's bombing out now.
Well, have a great night. It's probably 3:00 in the morning there, and you look very tired.
Yeah, I am tired. So it's 2:00 almost.
You have a great night, and as soon as you get off, we're going to see you in chat for the next half hour, I bet. But,
yeah. I'll be watching.
Yeah.
Hope to see you Saturday when I open up this box and I try.
Oh, I'll be there Saturday. Send me an invite.
Oh, we want to see you. We want to see you do a Kieran where you open the top, take a big inhalation of it, stick your finger in, and scoop it up and eat it.
Okay.
Is that what I think it is?
Vegemite.
Nice.
When I went and set up my stream for Saturday yesterday, it wouldn't connect to Facebook. It said click here to reconnect, and I did, and it worked. But the minute I tried to post a stream, it wouldn't connect on my group. So I did it multiple times. Then when I got on Facebook, I see all these listings for my lives. Had to go through and delete all the posts. So I don't know. I'll be on Facebook and YouTube Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be there Saturday.
Yes, later.
Take care, buddy. Have a great night.
Yeah, I'll be there Saturday. Someone has to give you a hard time.
If you'd like to drop in and hang out, Liam can repost the link, or it's pinned up top. Just
it's actually there. Yeah.
Pop in, say hey. We would love to meet you if you have 3D printing type stuff, hobby stuff to talk about.
3D printing, lasers, CNC, we do it all.
Almost everything.
Yeah. Even Tim has been baptized into CNC now. He's become a CNC. He loves it.
Yeah. I've got the that extension 6040 kit, not the 6040, the 3040.
The 4030 is what they call it.
4030 I've got, and I'm itching to build it. And then I got the metal tool holder. I've got the 20,000 RPM spindle with the upgraded power supply.
I got an CNC in the garage. It's 36 inches by 36 that I built last year. I still don't have firmware on it. I don't have it working. But if I did, I'd have a year of experience to talk about with everybody. But it's still sitting there.
What are you going to install in this? SmoothieWare or something?
I don't remember what I'm putting on in Marlin, but I don't remember. I got to go over to MPCNC, and I'll probably end up buying their board, taking out the one I put in it. The one that Ziltech sent me for my Hypercube. I forget what the board is called. One of them stacks on top of the other. It's a really old board. I forget the name of it. That's what I installed in it. I'll probably take it out and put something different in it.
Because all you need is 3 axes for that, right? X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all built. So it's some really big ass steppers on it. So
are they NEMA 23s?
Huh?
Are they NEMA 23 steppers motors?
I don't remember what I put on it.
Because for CNC, for larger CNCs, you need a torque.
Yeah.
Like the Carvecchios use the NEMA 23s, and you should, because you need that torque.
The ones I originally bought, they took plugs. They went in and they were very small, so I returned them to Amazon. Bought these larger motors, which are hardwired. You can't, I don't like them being hardwired.
Oh, okay, yeah. Some of them come hardwired, some of them don't.
Yeah.
But you need the torque. The 17s don't have torque.
Yeah.
That's why they're great in a 3D printer, because there's no resistance to its movement, really.
And I printed all the parts out at PETG rather than PLA that a lot of people recommended. I wanted it to be stronger, but it's sitting in the garage. When my garage gets hot, I really didn't want to use PLA.
Yeah. So when are you going to do live stream that and the firmware upgrade?
I don't know. Well, I'm not going to. I won't. But I'll just one day have it work, and you'll see a video going, "Wow, he did it! Hey, look, he done work on the Ghostbuster car. He's got out another video."
We're waiting.
Yeah, I can do that. I can put the Ghostbuster car for one of those shelves. I can free up my shelf in here. That way, it's always right there in my memory to start working on different parts instead of having it in another room on the shelf where I forget about it. So.
Well, as long as it doesn't end up in the garage with your CNC, you'll never know.
Yeah. No, I got an awful lot of filament and resin tied up in that Ghostbuster car.
Oh, yeah, I bet. But when it's done, it's going to look fantastic.
Then Spring donated, when she worked for G-Tech, she donated like 6 or 7 rolls to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I need to since I'm running so low on my stuff for the Toys for Tots, I might talk with 1 or 2 companies to see if they'd be willing to throw a couple of spools my way to keep me going until IC3D send me their stuff, because they're behind because of the cost of logistics of shipping out the material.
Why don't you post your PayPal link in chat right now, and if anybody watching wants to donate to you, they can, to help you out on that.
Sure. Let me go dig it out. Give me a second.
I think what I do every week, even though I'm monetized, my pin post is always my PayPal link, because YouTube takes 30% and you got to wait quite a while to get it sometimes. If you make over 100 a month, you get it every month. If you don't make over 100, you got to wait 90 days. Then they take 30%. So that's why I always post a PayPal link. If anybody wishes to help me out on buying supplies, I have that as my pin post. That's why I mentioned that to Tim, to have that as his pin post. And then before he goes offline is why I said in chat, I said, hey, Tim, check your email. Not that I sent him anything, so he could, say, oh, yeah, thank you, such and such.
Yeah.
So,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, let me just post it. I just stick it in the chat there.
That's just what I think you should do. I mean, it's up to you. It's your channel. Yeah. But I try to help out everybody however I can with whatever I've done or what works for me. I try to pass on to people to help.
Yeah, I need to go over to the. Are you watching on YouTube as well, Jerry?
I've got it. I can see it there. Yeah.
Pin it. I believe you can pin it.
Only you can pin because you're the owner of your YouTube account.
Oh, okay. So let me go back to my channel then. I don't.
I'm mod. I can put people in timeout. That's it. I can't pin post. That's why.
Okay, there's going to be audio feedback. So give it a second.
What's that?
No, there's no audio feedback. Okay, we're good.
That's why I mentioned to Tim, I can't pin a post. Only the owner of a channel can pin a post. And that's just the 3 dots. Whenever somebody types anything, You go to put your mouse over, it'll give you 3 little dots on the right side. You can time somebody out, you can ban them, or you can pin a post.
Yeah. And I've had to ban a couple of people at one point because they were being unfriendly. And
it happens. So, people think they're funny. So,
but it only happened once or twice though. Then that was it. So that's okay. We deal with it, right? But I didn't have the filter content turned on, whereas I have now. So
I run Nightbot in the background and everything, and it catches a lot of stuff. Then I can choose to show it or not show it. Yeah, I always run Nightbot, and Nightbot usually stays running for weeks on end. Sometimes just type in Nightbot, Nightbot.tv will pop up, and just connect the channel. It'll connect to whichever channel, and then you can set up different things in Nightbot to pop up on the screen when you want it to. Whenever.
Yeah, I don't use Nightbot because I don't really do giveaways. I don't have enough subscribers to do giveaways.
The StreamYard /giveaway, you just Google it. You click on that link, and whenever people are in chat, it'll populate, and you can have a keyword up if you want. It'll flash your names on the screen to pick a winner, but it won't remove them. That program does not remove people once they win. So you'll have to tell them that you know.
What I like about that is they have to be on stream to win because they got to enter the word.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nightbot does a similar thing, but Nightbot can be manipulated. I'd rather not use Nightbot.
Dominic, to answer that question, there is none, because if you've ever smelt the stuff or tasted it, it tastes like it's gone off.
I don't know. I bought some and I Googled it to see what I was getting into. And they said it's good on grilled cheese. It's good with different types of food, but not necessarily by itself. So we're going to find out. I seen Kieran stick his finger in it. So
yeah, well, but he's upside down, so we know.
I'm not going to do anything gross like wipe it on here and then lick it off. I'm not going to do nothing like that, but So see, I indirectly just said what I'm not going to do.
Yes, you kind of did, didn't you?
I'll bring out the Nutella.
My wife loves Nutella. I don't really care for the flavor, the taste of it, but I love chocolate. I don't know. It's just something about it. I don't like it's hazelnut, I think. Unless they make different kinds. I don't really care for
it. It is hazelnut, yeah. I don't like Nutella personally. I'm not a fan. And I like some chocolates, but not all. I prefer dark chocolates.
It's better for you, but I don't care for dark unless it's mixed with other things.
No, I like dark chocolate. I also like toffee as well, though. But like my wife says, like she likes dark chocolate too because it's bitter. And our running joke is every time, like when I eat bitter foods, she always says that I like bitter stuff. I say, yeah. I said, that's why I married you.
My wife bought something really good. My wife got some frozen fruit at the store, and she heats it up in the microwave for like a minute or something to warm it up slightly, and then she put that on cottage cheese and stirred it up. It's really good.
What is it?
Hold on, Steve.
Oh man!
Do.
No, frozen fruit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Frozen fruit cut up, puts it in the microwave to warm it up slightly so it's not frozen. Puts that on cottage cheese. I don't personally eat cottage cheese. When I was a little kid, I dumped sugar on it and eat it. I mean, when I was like 10 years old. I've never had it since, but with the frozen fruit mixed into it, it's really good.
What we used to do when we were young kids is we'd put sugar on bread and eat it. We'd like that as when we were kids. Just sprinkle some sugar on just plain bread, nothing on it, and sandwiches and eat it.
When I was a little kid, I'd put Miracle Whip on crackers and eat it. And since I'm an old adult, now I take peanut butter on Ritz crackers with a little bit of Miracle Whip, and then I eat it that way.
No, we didn't have Miracle Whip when I was a kid. That's the American thing. So we didn't have those.
If you lived in America, they had it.
But I didn't live in America, so.
Okay. All right.
I was born about 4,500 miles east of here, where I live right now.
How old were you moved to America?
I only moved to America 14 years ago.
Okay.
But prior to that, I lived in Ireland until my mid-20s. Then
what language do they speak in Ireland? They don't speak English, do they?
They do. They speak English, but they also there's part of Ireland where Gaelic, which is our native language, is spoken natively.
Are you fluent in that language?
I wouldn't say fluent. I don't know if, like, unless you live in those areas, are you really fluent? Okay. But I can have conversations in it. And it's complex. It's a complex language compared to English. Like in English, when you count people, it's 1, 2, 3. When you count an object, it's 1, 2, 3. Whereas in Gaelic, when you count objects, it's a hen, though a 3. But when you count people, it's dinner bertrur. So and so we count things, and we have different verbiage for things and something that's alive. So we have past, present, future, masculine, feminine, animate, inanimate. Whereas English doesn't have that. And there's other complexities in there in the language as well, which make it not super easy to learn. But I would say everybody in the country can speak English, but there are areas where they primarily speak Irish.
Chris said he's fluent, dirty old sailor.
I'm pretty fluent in that myself.
Yeah, there's some people in parts of America I've seen on YouTube videos that, what'd you say? I can't even understand them. It's all gibberish.
We have that. You can find that in almost every country. Like in Ireland, every area you go to in Ireland, there's going to be different accents. Even going from one part of the city to another can change the accent.
Yeah, it's like the person that taught them how to talk was drunk at the time, and that's how they learned.
Yeah, like in Limerick, where I grew up, like I don't right now have a typical Limerick accent. I have to you guys, I have an accent, but it's not a really strong accent because I've been living out of Ireland for so long. Now, if you go from Limerick to Cork, which is only an hour's drive, the people in Cork don't talk; they sing, because in Cork, this is how they talk. Everything's lyrical. Right, it sounds like they're singing to you, right?
I noticed that Thomas, the Maker Viking, and on the show Vikings, there's a certain type of accent that they have, but I can't explain it. But it all has a certain type of zing to the word. I don't remember. I can't really explain what I want to say. But whenever they say anything, it's got a certain tone to it. It's all the same, and I don't know. It's just
Dominic, yes, in Glasgow especially, Glaswegian, which is their dialect of English, is really difficult to understand. So, like other Scottish can be pretty mild, but Glaswegian can be really strong. Now you could have the same again for Wales. In Wales, they have a very, very soft spoken, but in parts of Wales, you wouldn't have a clue what they're saying because Scottish is like Irish, right? Because it's Irish people who went to England and basically live in the north of England, and that's where the Scottish language basically comes from. So the Gaelic is very, very similar. The Welsh is when some of the English came across to Ireland and brought back some of the Irish language and mixed it with their native, and that's why it's kind of Gaelic, but it's changed an awful lot in comparison to Scottish.
It's pretty easy to communicate with people that don't speak your language, just to point to different objects and use your hands to explain things, and people can usually figure out what you're talking about.
Yeah. And Loopy, I agree with you. Ireland's the same. Different parts of Ireland you'd struggle. The same in the UK is the same. And the English people, if you travel around the UK and you listen to people speaking English, they bastardize their own language so bad in different areas. Like they change it so much because of local ways of saying stuff. So it's in some areas it doesn't even sound like English anymore.
In America slang, like when you talk to people in chat or leave a comment to somebody, I've offended people before by the way I said things, which sounded perfectly fine to me, but they misunderstood my meaning when they read my comment and, basically blew up over it a couple of years ago. And I'm thinking, whoa, I didn't mean, where are you coming from? That isn't what I meant.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they're what they understand certain words to be, or to mean. Local meaning is different to what it means in general, right? Or in different areas. So I'm sure like there's certain ways you say stuff in Vegas that don't mean the same thing in Michigan or in the UK.
Sure, they do. Vegas has everybody comes and goes here all the time. So,
but you have a big mix, and that changes the language. That's what causes the language to evolve to be different, right? So you find that in every country, like even in parts of China, they have the same. They have the same in Japan. And Japan is pretty pure in most cases. There's some variation.
My sister and brother say wash, not wash.
Wash.
I say wash. They say wash, not wash. I say crick, not creek. There are just certain slang words.
Yeah, so like to me, it's wash and creek, and it's like in Canada, they don't have. It's not house, it's hoose, right?
When I was a little kid, when I moved to Vegas, we had a divan, and actually, a divan is a real thing. But I call it a couch or a sofa, or I'll say couch nowadays. When I was a little kid, a lot of people called it a sofa. In Nebraska, we called it a divan. So
divan.
A divan. It's a couch. It's just another word for a couch, and at some point in time, that's what they were called, evidently. Then my dad would always put his feet up on a hassock, which was just a square thing out in front. You put your feet on top of like a square block, like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, padded, yeah.
A hassock is what we called them.
Huh.
So,
like, yeah, and you'll find it everywhere. Like in Michigan, you don't have a roof on your house, you have a roof.
A roof.
A dog says roof, right?
Yeah, dog is roof.
But in Michigan, is the roof is on the house.
Nikita, speak.
Yeah, it is a bed type.
Speak.
Hi, Nikita.
Unless you don't want to do it.
Yeah, but they're all excited because you're talking to them.
Want a bone? Speak. Speak.
There you go.
Okay. Just
get him a bone. He deserves it.
Good girl.
That's what I have to do if I want my
yeah, so like every language has variation by region, right? So I don't think anywhere like they call this, like in English they say it's the Queen's English. I think her and a few of her family and some of the people at that level will speak it in that way. Most people have variations on the way they enunciate their words, right? There's going to be some deviation to it. It's just language is not a stagnant thing. Language is diverse. You know, it adapts, it grows, it changes. Sure, if you go back a few hundred years, English wasn't a language. Nobody ever spoke it. Well, or sorry, let me rephrase that. It was a language spoken by the commoners in the street. It was not spoken by royalty. They all spoke. In the past, they all spoke Latin or French. They did not speak English. English was a commoner's language back then. But now it's a common language.
Yeah, a couch that makes into a bed. Hey, Maker Viking.
Hey, Thomas, how are you, man? Guys, the link is there in chat if you actually it's not anymore. I didn't pin it anymore. So let me because I can only pin one thing at a time.
Yeah, just go down below and just copy it and drop it.
I just did. In parts of Chicago, chi is both a number that comes after 2
tree
and the thing that up is growing. Well, in Ireland, in Ireland, I have to admit, we don't always use the th. We don't always say 3. We call it a tree. And the number 3, right? So we drop the h in a lot of cases. In Irish, people tend to drop the h.
Well, there's Canadian people that say a boot all the time too. I don't know what the hell that means.
Yeah. What is it all about?
I say about. And I very rarely say a. Very rarely. Huh?
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Hey? You know how Canada got its name, right?
C-A. N-A.
You got a C-A and an N-A and a D-A. What was he saying? I'm good. We have How are you guys doing? We're doing great. Well, I know I am anyway.
Couldn't be more wonderful. Tomorrow's the first day of Ethan's kindergarten.
Cool.
Wow, that's a big statement.
It's a big step for him.
Has he been to preschool before?
No, just daycare.
Okay, so yeah, well, at least he's been around other kids, and somebody else there telling him what to do, so it should go without a hitch.
Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, he's been in daycare for like 3 years.
Yeah, so that's fine for him then. Yeah. Kids who've never been to daycare who first go to school, it's a huge.
Oh, it could be terrifying. Yeah.
I remember my first day of school. I still remember my first day of school, right? And I was never in because we didn't have kindergarten or anything like that back then. So day one of school was day one away from mom, right?
Wow.
For a lot of us back
the
then.
whole day. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a hard day. It was fine after day one, but the first time you get in the door, that was a terrifying moment. I still remember it. And I'm 51.
What's a hoser?
What?
Dominic wants to know what's a hoser, Tim.
What's a hoser? Watch the Bob and Doug McKenzie show. I'm not really sure. You hoser? You guys heard of Bob and Doug McKenzie?
Well, that's the only place I remember seeing was Bob and Doug McKenzie. Like when I was a teenager, I'm thinking, okay, everybody in Canada says A.
They'd go, ooh, take off, eh? That was kind of a funny show, but gave Canada like a stigma that everybody in Canada says A and that we all live in igloos. So.
But they've done the same with Australia, right? With Crocodile Dundee.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Everybody carries a big knife. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone says crikey. No, they don't.
Crikey.
You should. Actually, I had a buddy of mine who actually went to Australia. He was working construction in Australia. And they'd start work at 6 a.m. in the morning because the days get piping hot. So they'd start at 6 a.m. and they'd be done by noon. They'd have to start, or at 11 or 12 o'clock, they'd stop because it gets too hot in the summer. And he was every morning he'd get on when he get on site in the construction site. For every time the whole crew turned around to him and said, "You have to say it. You have to say it." He had to say it top of the morning to you. Oh. Otherwise, they wouldn't leave him alone all morning. Every morning they annoyed him.
Construction here in Vegas, we started at either 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning. Usually 5 o'clock, off by 1:30, unless you had to work overtime. And usually you had to work overtime a couple hours. Always something came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you normally finish around noon before it got too hot, yeah?
Yeah, usually 1:30 or so. But yeah, sometimes it's already 110, 112 at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, so you're dying in the sun. But if you slowly build up to it and get used to it, it doesn't bother you. You're getting all dirty and sweaty. You're used to it. It's no big deal. Right now, I've been retired so long. When I go out front, it's like, no, I turn around and go back in the house. I don't have to work in it no more. But your body has to build up to it every year. You can't just go from cold weather to hot or you get sick. Get a heat exhaustion.
Tim, Justin's asking, did you get his email?
I believe I did. I'll check.
Justin, did you ever sell your printer?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, for those who are out there who haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so.
Justin was selling his Race 3D printer a while back. I was wondering if he sold it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of work to do for a few people, and I'm not ignoring it. It's just starting to catch up.
Cool. They're nice machines. The Race 3D are nice machines.
So it's interesting. I went to order something today from Printed Solid. I got to the checkout. They wouldn't ship to Canada. So I found the same product, same price on a company called Polyacme or something.
Polyacme?
Yeah, and then I just get a notice from FedEx on the phone just now saying I got a delivery coming from Printed Solid. So
I thought Printed Solid to Canada had to deal with $300, doesn't it? To Canada? And then U.S. is over $45 for free shipping.
Possibly, but I paid the same thing, and it's not a $300 order, and then it's being shipped from Printed Solid.
Okay. So
they're acting as a distributor for them or something.
Oh, okay.
So they're probably shipping it out. They probably have the stock in Canada, and they're shipping it to you. And what they do is they do bulk buys out of them and store it.
Yeah, but it's funny that they would ship that to me from their location in the U.S., but I can't buy direct from them in the U.S. for the exact same product.
Well, there's a lot of pharmaceuticals that are made in Las Vegas. You can't buy them. You got to go to Mexico and buy them in person and then bring them back.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Now, Jerry, what type of medication are you referring to?
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of different kinds of medication people have got for all kinds of things, for different disabilities, whatever. I don't know. But
headache pills, that's what it is. Yeah, headache pills.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I've seen that on the news a long time ago.
A lot of that goes for all medication. A lot of medication is made, and it's never sold in the domestic market.
But even if you have to go to a pharmacy that look like a legitimate business in Mexico, I'm sorry, I wouldn't trust them. I mean, you don't really know what they put in it. I don't, I'm not from there, so I don't really know.
Yeah, well, there's some countries where stuff that's on prescription here, or in other countries, are not on prescription over there. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can buy without prescription in Mexico and in the Philippines and in China and so on, without prescriptions, that you need prescriptions elsewhere in the world. And a lot of and it's the original product, I never watched the NFL. I have no interest in American football. I don't get. I don't see why they have to change teams all the time.
I like Dallas. And I like now that the Raiders are here in Vegas, I started watching the Raiders. And my wife didn't want to watch any of the preseason games. She's like, well, these aren't real games. I said, Brandy, they're real games. We're not betting on it. And if we were, we can still go bet on it. They're still real games. It may not count in the overall total, but they're still playing 100%. The stands are full. They're still there. They're still playing. It's still a real football game.
Yeah, I just do. I don't get football. Like, why do you have to have the offensive, defensive, and special teams? Just play. Like, football is very like rugby, right? And in rugby, you just play, and there's no changing teams, none of that. And I know football hits really hard, right? But because of the pads, they're hitting each other harder, and they're actually injuring each other severely. In rugby, we don't use pads. And we play hard, not as hard, but we play hard. But we know we have limitations because I'm not wearing a pad, so I'm not gonna hit you in a way that I know is gonna hurt me. That I don't care. Not, even if it doesn't hurt you, it's gonna hurt me at some point. So
yeah,
I like women's beach volleyball. That's pretty fun to watch.
I like being an ex-sailor, right? I like sailing. I've watched some of the sailing stuff that goes on. Some of I like the Whitbread and all this kind of stuff. I like that type of stuff. I like rugby.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Justin.
Long time.
So when you was a sailor, did you have soap on the rope for the showers or?
No, none of that. Pope on the rope, wasn't it?
Right. What's going on, guys?
How's life?
Oh, busy. Work has been insane, so I've been exhausted every night pretty much. So
you got 3 printers all lined up with dry boxes underneath them, or 3 or 4 printers.
Yep, 3 printers on a big shelving unit I finally did, and all my filament finally.
Making big, Liam. What printers you got there?
So I got my Voron. Oh, wrong person.
I know. I just had to drag you over.
So my Voron's right here, trying to match my finger up to the camera. My Prusa MK3 mostly stocks right here, and my Caribou Zaribo MK3's back there. And then I've got my palette mounted right there, thanks to Zach. He custom designed a palette mount so I could mount it upside down. And then he helped me design mounts to put my filament spools. Like, I can hang a spool on pegs off of these, so it's very efficient. And I've got my stacker F boxes that I've got mounts for. So if I really want, I can keep filament dry, if I'm running nylon or carbon fiber, or in this case TPU right in that one, which I don't even. And because I'm running the tube all the way to the head, I don't have to dry it. It can just sit there till I use it.
You dry it before you box it, and that's it.
Yep. Well, in this case, it was dried straight from the dryer into the box, and I haven't removed it since. So, and then every single one of my boxes is going to have one of these. In it, and so I can monitor my humidity. I've got some 3D printed adapters for it. I got to cut some holes. So.
Yeah, I have one. I keep one of those I have a Fila Dry, the version 2.
Yep.
And I keep it in that.
Well, these are gasket boxes, which are really hard to get anymore.
Hey, Matt.
And I've got these Eva Dries in there now. So.
Matt, hey.
And I had that nice interview with Adam from Power Belt on Sunday.
Yeah, I was actually going to reach out to him about doing something like that as well.
Yeah.
Should I do my weekly stream on a different day? I always go on at Saturday at 1 o'clock, but most people can't join in.
For me, it's tough because either I'm working or I'm sleeping, because usually I stay up late Friday night and do a bunch Saturday morning. Like this Saturday, I'm actually flying with a friend, and so I'm gonna be tired when I get back. And it's tough. He does, yes. He's got a private license. He doesn't have a plane; he rents it.
Okay.
You know, because
be careful.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I've been flight simming for so many years. I've got all my.
I've jumped out of a plane a couple times, but little planes. I mean, when I rode up there, it's kind of a scary thought. It's like, you know, trying to fly.
I'm excited. It's gonna be awesome.
I've flown in small planes. I actually flown a small plane from France to what was the name of the place?
I don't know.
In Northern Africa, Tangiers.
There's the Voron. I've got my Stream Deck, so I can switch between.
What's the build volume on the Voron?
350 by 350 by 500.
Oh, so it's a little bit taller and Z than the N5
what did it cost you to build it about?
I overbuilt it. So from the day I decided, all right, I'm building a Voron, I said I'm getting everything within a month. I ordered one thing from China. One thing. That was the heated bed, and I paid for expedite, including shipping and high-end parts. This thing cost me about $3,000.
Is your bed poured and milled?
Yes. Yeah, I contacted the heck was the guy's name? Let me find it here.
What camera are you printing? Kit's wondering.
Yeah. I contacted Mandela Roseworks and said, hey, I'll pay extra. Make or find me a bed that's, with very little, issue. Cameras I'm running, Kit, are all Wise cams. So, I mean, it's easy because I can run. The best thing about it is I can monitor them remotely. And then I've got remote access to my computer, so I'm kind of. It makes it easy if I'm at work and something goes wrong. I can be like, stop and print, cancel a print.
I've got 2 Wise cams. I can take one of them in another room and then just run a USB over to my computer.
Yeah,
and you don't need webcams.
Yeah, and they're good for webcams. I'm running a Sony A6000 for a webcam because I really am not using it for much else.
Because I have this big one here on an arm, and I was going to take this into my other room where I have my K40. I got a DIY laser I built that was sitting next to me, and now I've got it in that room, but I can't leave it burning if I'm in here on my computer, so I can take a Wise cam and set up and monitor it.
Yeah, well, that reminds me now because when I get my Power Belt 3D Tiny Belt, I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming with it, and I need a camera in one of those stands like Chris Riley.
Did you buy one of the beta machines?
Yes, I got selected. I was one of 40 selected, so I will be seeing that in the next few months.
Yeah, I think he's saying November.
He's saying if everything goes right, end of September, the first units will ship.
Oh, okay, because last I heard was November.
That's for the Kickstarter.
Oh, is this? Okay.
Yes. I'm not accessing the cameras with the computer kit. I'm accessing the printers via TeamViewer mobile app, so I can just get into my computer and be like, stop everything.
Oh, you got Pies running in there?
Yep.
So
Pies on everything.
If I put a Wise camera in there, I'd probably have just sitting there and plug it on my computer. I'd probably have to run OBS on one of my screens while I'm using my laser to monitor it.
Yeah.
From my computer.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't with the RTMP. It's picky. I've got like these cameras that I have. Let me go back to my.
Here, Chris Travis.
Oh, see you, Chris.
So these cameras are all Wise cams running through OBS. I don't remember how I set them up because they're not running VLC. Because if with VLC I can only monitor one. But if I was printing anything, the only downside is it takes a bit. Like the Voron takes a second to load before it eventually shows. But or not. Yeah, see that's the issue. But I mean it's cheap. What I was
printing on my CR10 yesterday, and the PTFE came out of my extruder while I was sitting here. And when I got up to look at it, I had about 25 foot of film and all behind the printer, just going everywhere. So I had to go clip it, mend it.
Oh man,
right.
That's yeah. I think right now on one of my printers, the yellow that I use for these wheels, it is the worst wound spool I've ever had.
Right.
But I'm still getting prints out of it, but I'm watching it. But I mean, like there's it's getting snagged every now and again. But the apparently my stepper motors have enough torque, they put it free.
Right.
So when I started printing these first with that material, I noticed every now and again, like in areas like here or here, there'd be gaps. I was saying it's not under extrusion,
right?
It's printing. So what's going on? So I started watching it, and every now and again I hear, and I'd look around and I'd see the filament wobble. What's happening? It was actually being pulled out for wherever it was snagged.
Nice.
So puppy cam, we have to put on puppy cam.
Right. Oh, Pupster. Look at that pupper. He's
fluffy
so fluffy. He's fluffy. I like him. Take a fluff. So cute. I fluff. He's like, what?
Now the dog is saying, "Put me down. You're showing off my bits."
Pretty much.
Well, I'm kind of glad I got two female dogs now. Now I can actually rub their tummy, because my boy dogs, I can't rub their tummy very well because I don't want to run my hand into their tallywhackers.
Oh man!
Somebody asked something on Facebook the other day. My reply was something I used the word tallywhacker because I figured most people reading my comment wouldn't know what I was talking about, so it would say.
Yeah, but
my dad used when I was a little kid.
Yeah, no, we didn't use that. I can't remember what we used.
Yin yang.
No, I don't know. I remember my first day at school, but I can't remember what we used to use for that. That'll show you how traumatic it was for me.
Yeah.
But so you're still at the dealership, right, Justin?
Yeah, I'm at the same dealership. We just had a record month, destructively awesome. So,
what do you do at the dealership?
I'm a parts guy, parts counter guy.
God,
unfortunately,
parts are expensive from the dealer. I hate going to the dealer.
Yeah, but there's a. It's hard to say because there's some things that you should buy from the dealer, and there's some things you shouldn't.
Charleston Auto Parts, Napa, never AutoZone, sometimes Amazon.
Never AutoZone. The problem here's the thing that bugs me. The aftermarket world has made it so that you go in for whatever you have. Say you have I'm going to make up 2013 Chevy Cruze, right? Since I have one of those. You go into AutoZone, okay, what do you have? 2013 Chevy Cruze. Okay. They're not all the same. AutoZone, O'Reilly's, all the parts stores are looking up by vehicle, not by specific vehicle. So when I get people on the phone, they call, oh, I've got 2013 Chevy Cruze. I'm looking for this and that. I'm like, you have your VIN? No, they're all the same. Like, no. That's the thing that drives me the most nuts in this industry is they are not the same.
Yeah.
When you call a dealer, have your VIN ready, period. Unless you've been there before and some of them can pull it up. But they all call, well, what's that make a difference? Or,
well, the reason why is when they build a car first, then people, they find small issues and then they tweak designs for a year or two.
And then
they tweak something else for year three.
Yep.
And eventually, like by the time you reach year 4, it's a different car.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of improved parts and everything like that. And the aftermarket world doesn't see that. I've had people call, well, I've gone to all the aftermarket stores and it's all been wrong. I'm like, give me your VIN. Oh, correct VIN, correct part.
CNX Tech, hello.
CNX, how are you? You haven't been here before, I don't believe. I don't recognize the ID. Tell us a little bit about you.
I used to buy a lot from AutoZone, and then I started buying strictly from Amazon.
Yeah.
And the same part is a fifth of the price usually. And if you shop wisely on Amazon, you can get quality parts that are a lot cheaper than a lot of these fast food auto part stores.
The only downside with Amazon, it doesn't, just like everyone else, it does not pull the VIN.
Yeah.
So
if you have the exact model number, then you can probably get the right one. Because if they change the part, if they change the design of something, the model number is going to be updated, right?
That's why
reviews
are so important to have an honest review on the product.
But Amazon's reviews are half fake anyway. So.
Really? I'm sorry, I don't remember you. Jerry, do you remember CNX Tech?
Yeah. I don't recognize him, or him or her. I don't recognize.
Yeah, sorry.
Echo. Who's echoing? No one anymore.
I don't know.
Don't know.
You're free to ask a question. If you want to ask, feel free. But yeah.
How fast have you printed a Benchy?
Oh well, I think that's a better question to ask Justin because he's got a Voron. Because
I could throw one
most
on.
of us can't do.
I'm thinking that fast. Around 20 minutes probably is the fastest.
I'll have to look.
Hey, what's
Matt.
going on, Matt?
What's up, Matt?
Hey guys.
So let's ask Matt because Matt's the resin printer guy.
Right.
What's the fastest you've printed a Benchy?
You know what? I'll be honest. I've never printed Benchy, but I am
like a true resin guy.
I am finally playing with times on resin printers because I've never done that in the past.
Right.
But with the Sonic Mega being so slow on stock settings, I decided to tune it up, and I still got a lot of testing to do. But right now it's at 480 millimeters. I think it's a minute. So.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Well, Kit, I've seen on the rat rig at 150 millimeters a second. I've seen it printing a Benchy in something like.
Let me slice one.
A few minutes.
Quick.
What's the fastest you've done, Justin?
Let me slice one, and I'll let you know here in just a sec.
Yeah, because these other machines, like Core XY machines, actually the SR would do it as well, Tim. It would do a Benchy really fast.
SR is pretty fast, yeah.
I've been in the 3D printing for 4 or 5 years now, and it took me like 3 years before I ever did my first Benchy.
That was the part.
I've never done a temp tower ever.
Yep, same here.
I've done a bunch of temp towers.
I mean, I print at 210 and 60, and it usually just works. If the print looks funky, I'll kick up the temp a little bit, but usually 210 and 60.
Well,
and I usually don't print over 60 millimeters a second. I have no reason to print fast. Unless I want to do a video on it and I want to say, hey, wow, look at that. It threw across the room, something like that. But
that's exactly it.
300 by 300 bed is a lot of mass to be moving at high speed. So the smaller printers tend to do better at higher speed because there's less mass to be moved. When you get into really big printers like the Voron or like the Rat Rig or anything like that that's over 300 millimeters, to do any speed, you do not move the bed. There's no bed slinger. You move the X and Y axis, which is why a Core XY on the Rat Rig, the bed drops down. On the Voron, the bed is stagnant, and the XY axis moves up.
Yes. On the 2.4, it is.
I wanted to print model by Sanix earlier. He done what's his name? Oh God. Oh man, I'm having a brain fart. The black vampire dude, Blade. I'm printing Blade.
Oh, Blade. Yeah.
And I was about out of resin. I had 3 different types of resin. I had some really old resin from Ziltech, some clear from like a year and a half ago, and this and that. So I mixed it all up, put a little bit of Tenacious in it, shuck it up really good, and it's printing fine. So I didn't want to buy another bottle, so I went grocery shopping today with me and my wife. We usually spend about $200 the first of every month, and throughout the month I go grab what I need. We spend like $320 today. It's like, huh? So I didn't order any resin. That was too much money in food.
Yeah.
I should have bought a roll of duct tape and not even went to the store, and then I could have saved some money.
All right, I'm slicing a Benchy
At 150?
At 200, because I can't. Because I
so
can actually
probably at 4 or 5, maybe 5 minutes.
Let's find out.
So what is the height on that? That's what I'm just wondering.
Of which?
Of the benchy.
Let me see here. Hold on. Standard benchy, 48 millimeters.
Okay.
Pretty slow actually. It says an hour and an hour.
Take a while, but
watch your infill.
Layer
Watch
10%. 10% at 0.2 layers with 3 perimeters and 4 top bottoms.
What about at 100%?
100% infill.
Solid print.
Oh, that would take forever.
That would take a while. I never print anything at 100.
Yeah, but
most 50.
In the resin, you can do it 100% without.
It only adds 4 minutes. Because
so that's the big differences between that. Like, yeah, okay, you can print a benchy in an hour, and technically a resin would probably be like 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference is that's a solid piece. You can do a hollow one too, but I mean, it's pretty much going to come out the same time frame because resin bases it off of the Z height, not the actual build.
The Z height and the exposure length of each Z.
Yeah. So basically, that's the major difference between FDM and resin is I can take and print 40 benches on my Mega in the time that it takes you to print 3.
Right.
So,
yeah,
got to weigh your options on what you're doing. But
so if I speed it up, cut it down to 0.3 layer height, I can do it in 36 minutes with varying between 3,000 and 7,000 acceleration.
That is mono
with input shaper.
Yeah, and that is a mono screen.
Is that what the
Yeah, that's what between 2 and 3 seconds per layer.
Yeah, roughly, and then with like a 50 bottom layer on there. So
yeah.
No,
I'm just guesstimating. I'm just throwing a number out there. I'm not by a computer, so I can't really actually look, but it could be even 2 hours. Who knows? I don't know. I'd have to slice a model up at 48 millimeters or whatever and see.
Resin's the only thing I don't have patience for. I don't have the space for it. I don't want to deal with the smells in an apartment. It's just not, if I ever get a house with a basement, maybe, but
I'm trying to print strictly in resin, but for bigger things, I have to do FDM, obviously.
Right.
It depends.
I would if I had the space and the everything else, but I don't.
The one thing about printing fast on an FDM is it's acceleration, and the type of print head you're using will vary what you can and can't do.
Yes, I'm running a Mosquito Magnum. I've got input shaper, I've got height and everything.
Yeah, but if you're bed slinger, you have the mass of the bed being moved around,
exactly,
and that's going to introduce artifacts in your print.
Yep.
Right, you get ringing and all this kind of stuff. And then, go on, Jerry.
I'm saying, man.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say something. And when you on your print head, direct drives have mass that a Bowden does not have. So that's going to introduce aspects of ringing as well, right? So you have. It's not about how fast you can print; it's how well you can print at a speed.
Yes.
It's like the old the old cadet ad? It's not how fast you mow; it's how well you mow fast, right? Remember that TV ad?
Right.
So this is the same thing when it comes to printing, right? It's not about how fast you print; it's how well you print while you're going at a speed.
Exactly.
And you lose a lot the faster you go, unless you have
it's kind of like bigger is not always better. It's how you use it.
Sorry? I didn't hear you, Jerry.
It's kind of like bigger is not better. Depends how you use it.
Unless you're talking about telescopes. Then yes.
Of course I'm talking about telescopes.
Bigger is better when it comes to telescopes. I know, I have one. Some big ones, so. But if you go, I know IC3D have I think it's called a VT700 or the VI700. They're a filament manufacturer, but they designed their own heavy industrial printer. There's no belts on this thing. It's all screw driven with NEMA 23 motors. I mean, the X and the Y axis, and it's an IDEX, and it's all screw driven. Right? There's no belts in this thing.
Right.
And it can move, it can print fast, and it's super precise because it uses ball screw screw drive rather than any belt system. So you're not going to have belt stretching. You're not going to have to deal with acceleration because when the screw stops turning, it's the mechanics stop, right? So that eliminates that aspect of it. It takes out a lot of the physics of high speed motion out of it when your X and Y are screw driven rather than belt driven.
Yep,
that's what they've done, and they're, I think it's called the VI or VT 700.
Are you on lunch break right now, Matt?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
So getting in 45 minutes is good, but I'm wondering the quality of the print would.
I can shoot off one. I can turn on input shaper, load some ABS, and fire one off.
Yeah. But so there's a lot of aspects of that you have to take into consideration. Physics, you can't beat it. So
yeah.
But you're using linear rails, which helps with ringing.
Yeah.
But you are still using belts, so at speed they stretch a little bit. They're given them, which can introduce error effects.
Right.
What does it say here? I've been watching a channel that's doing the speedboat challenge.
Speedboat challenge. I've seen that somewhere. Somebody posted about that.
I haven't seen it. Well, you can print if you do a benchy with 1 or 2 walls, right? You can do do a good base, do 2 walls, and then do the top of it with maybe a handful of layers. And if you use adaptive infill, that it only starts doing infill maybe 2 layers before the top layers need to be laid on. You can get it done pretty fast when you do that. This is about with about 20% infill, takes a couple of hours to print, right, on a single print. But if I can do this hollow with 3 walls in an hour.
Is that for Toys for Tots?
That's one of the toys, yeah.
I don't think that's kid safe if they're real little, so they can pull it apart and choke on it.
If it's PETG, correct, and that's why I haven't done any of them. I only have a handful of them made.
Yeah.
Or if it's PLA, PETG would be able to take a beating, right? PLA, I like that will crack and break, but this will not crack and break and go anywhere because that's solid, right? That's got a 20% infill, or no, 20 or 25%. I have to double check, but it's got 4 outer walls, so that thing is going nowhere.
That's pretty beefy, bro.
It's made to be. I made it that way to be childproof. So. Google Speedboat Challenge 5-minute benches. Well, you can do a high-speed benchy if you have all linear rails. If you have something like a Voron or a Rat Rig and it's a Core XY machine, or the Super Racer, the FL Super Racer, can probably do stuff like that. If you minimize the amount of walls, you minimize the amount of infill. Your top and bottom layers are absolute minimum. If you use a bigger nozzle rather than a 0.4, you use a 0.6 or a 0.8 nozzle. Now you have less walls to do to get something that's substantial, right?
Yep. And that's one of the plus sides about the Super Racer right out of the box. It's got a volcano hot end, so easily swap in a bigger nozzle and you can print away, no problems.
Yeah. So even the Focus, the Focus Odin 3 F5 printer.
Yeah.
It's it's about the size of an Ender 3. That has a clone mosquito. Oh no, volcano hot end in it.
Volcano, right.
So you can actually push plastic through that really fast.
Yep. That's one of the reasons why I liked the Viper over the CR6, because it had that volcano hot end on it.
So you can actually move faster, and if it's as long as it's a Bowden and not a direct drive, you can move. The head is lighter, so it can move faster.
Yep. Yeah, and that's exactly what the Viper is. It's a Bowden volcano.
A lot of people have not great things to say about Bowden. I would say the vast majority of my printers are Bowden, and I love them.
Yeah, all of mine are direct drive. The first Bowden I'll have ever had is going to be what the power belt is.
I only see a need for a Bowden if we're doing flexibles.
You mean a direct drive?
A direct drive printhead.
Yeah, you said Bowden, so just.
Oh, sorry. Well, sorry, direct drive. Forgive me. Yeah. So because you need it for flexible.
If you have a Titan style extruder, you can push soft filament through a Titan extruder. It's enclosed.
You can, as long as you got a tight tolerance on your Bowden Bowden, because
really tight.
The normal PTFE tubing has so much give in it. Like a Ninja Flex would actually get coiled up and you actually get trapped and stuck in it. Whereas if you use like the Capricorn tubing, Capricorn XS, or what's the one at
the TL.
Yeah, they have the tough tube, right?
Yeah, the TL.
That tight tolerance as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those would allow. There's no room. Like I like to look at printing really flexible as like trying to push a rope. You can't push a rope up a hill, right? And that's what you're trying to do, pushing flexibles through too, right? Yep. But you can push a solid bar or whatever up the hill, right?
You can push a rope up the hill if you do it in the wintertime in Michigan.
No, because the snow would be in your way.
Yeah, I printed flexible on the Viper with just changing like the speed. That's it. No change to the retractions or anything, and it works perfect.
Well, if you do flexibles in a Bowden, as long as you don't do retractions, if you try and minimize or remove retractions altogether, you can do it because it's a constant feed. But again, as long as you got a good Bowden tube on it, you should be. It would help. Yep. But if you start doing retractions, you're going to run yourself into a world of problems because it doesn't retractions on a direct drive. You're doing the retractions less than a centimeter away from the nozzle, right? If you're doing or maybe 2 centimeters away from the nozzle. If you do it on a Bowden, you're doing it anywhere between 6 and 2 feet away from the and that's going to cause because all the flexible material is going to do is stretch out. We're not actually going to get a retraction out of it.
Yep.
Everyone has their own preference. I do like the direct for flexis. Mm-hmm. Other than that, there's no need for it because I can get the same print quality out of any machine, and I can print faster on a Bowden.
Yeah, my only gripe with direct drive is sometimes when you're using the direct drive system and something goes wrong, like you get a clog or whatever it may be, there tends to be that little like knob at the end of the filament that's stuck in the hot end. And when you go to pull that out, it gets caught in the extruder basically because it's only reamed out to be 1.8.
Yeah.
I have a CR10 that happens too, and it has for years. So whenever I pull it back, I've got to unscrew it where the coupler goes in. Yeah. With the PTFE, and I got to snip it and then pull it through. For some reason, it always gets stuck right there, and I can't. If I pull it through too hard, then I got to, get in, take the nut off, and get in a little tiny Allen wrench and shove it back out.
The trick is to heat up your hot end like to 250, 280, depending on what you're printing. Push first and up. Because on every printer, I have that issue.
Yeah.
But that's something I'm used to. I can handle it. I'm good.
Yeah. You have to push in because what you have is in a nozzle, you have a blob of molten material that's bigger.
Exactly.
So you push it out to squeeze out the molten material, then whip it straight back out, and then there's no liquid left, really.
Correct.
That's the trick to it. So, and that I don't have that. The issue is you're saying, and I have a lot of Bowdens because I do it that method, and it works generally for me. So, but we all have our own preferences, right? And I have a mixture of both.
2 days ago, I had a power spike 2 days ago, and I woke up in the morning or the middle of the night, and my bedroom fan was turned off. I was like, what the hell? I came out and checked my printers. My CR10, which is on a power backup, is sitting there frozen on the print, but my Max was still running. So I don't know why in the hell the CR10 shut down. It's plugged into the same UPS. I got to check to see where I've got it plugged into the UPS. Maybe I don't have the Pi plugged into the backup part of it. Something. But it froze.
But some electronics are more sensitive because UPS is not immediate power. There's a tiny fraction of a time from when the UPS turns on its power supply, because you are not feeding the battery and then the electricity is topping it off. There's a switching mechanism in there, right?
It's a Cyber Power 1500 VA.
I know, but I'm saying inside the way it works is you have the batteries and then you have the mains. And inside there's a sensor, a feedback sensor to test if there's a power mains. If there's not, it opens the other circuit, right? It flips over because the natural position for it is to battery, and when you plug it in, it goes over to mains. and there's a fraction of a time to switch over. And some UPSs, the time is long, and also some electronics are more sensitive to that. And when it makes a switch, they don't like it if it's not fast enough, and they will actually, and their capacitors drain is basically what happens in the power supply. And when the capacitors drain down, it has no feed, so they don't handle brownouts very well.
Yep.
Now, has anyone ever run an indirect Bowden?
A what?
An indirect Bowden.
No.
Or sorry, not indirect. A reverse Bowden.
Oh yeah, every printer I have has it.
Yeah,
because it's easy because of my enclosures. I can just run my filament right to the hot end.
Yeah. Now, have you ever tried an indirect direct drive?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Have none of you heard of this?
It's an Australian thing, probably.
Well, you can 3D print it. You can make the parts yourself, right? So basically, what it is, it's a Bowden setup, but your extruder motor is where Bowden is normally set up. But on the printhead, you have a gear system driven by a spring coil steel rod, and it rotates. So the motor rotates this spring steel, and turns the gears to feed your material. So there's almost, even though it's directly feeding into the extruder, into the hot end, there's extruder motors off the hot end. So you get a high speed without the weight.
Yep.
You get direct drive without the direct drive weight on the hot end.
Back 2 years ago when I was at Murph 2019, though the guys Zesty Nimble that Jerry was just mentioning, they were there showing off their indirect drive, and it was insane. They were pushing like 300 millimeters a second on an ender, and at that time, nobody was pushing no more than 100 on their most machines. Now you got the Vorons and everything in the rad rigs like going insane.
At first, I was just reading it off chat, but I do remember that. But what I don't like about it is that the stepper motor should be mounted on the frame. It shouldn't be mounted on the Z carriage. You still have all that weight here. You're kind of defeating your purpose because all that weight is still there. You put it up on the top on the frame. Now everything is really light.
With this, you can put it wherever you want.
I know.
It doesn't matter. And
I know, but they're leaving it. They're moving the extruder. They're leaving the extruder over there. I know what you're talking about, but the weight's still there from stepper motor.
Yep.
Yeah, but in this case, you can actually move it off there and mount it on top of the.
I've never seen anybody move it on the top.
Well, I've actually done. No, I've moved on my CR10 Mini. I took the stepper motor, the extruder, off the carriage, and mounted it on top of my Z.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that I did that on my CR10 Mini. I just made a little L-shaped bracket, and then mounted on with T-nuts on the top, and I moved it out of the way there because I was feeding filament in from above. So I took it off the X carriage.
Hey, Mika, Steve, how you doing?
Yeah, the steel cable for it is a special bound steel cable. Yeah, and it's a special tensile material as well. But it gives you direct drive without using a direct drive, without having the weight of a direct drive on your axis.
Yep.
And it works great. I mean,
but the weight is still there because your motor goes in the same place. That's what my point. They're like, hey, we got this cool cable system, but you still got the weight of the motor on that. On the
no, well, in this case, you can have it wherever you want. As I said, you can have it on the top of Z or wherever you want. As long as the cable will reach, it doesn't matter.
All right, guys, I got to hit the road. I'll catch y'all later.
Take care. Have a great night. Take care, Matt.
They call it, if you go to Flex 3 Drive, FLEX number 3 drives.com, they have it there. Now I'm going to put a link into the chat. You should look it up. It's a cool idea. Mm-hmm. And if you have Bowdens and you want to go, you can actually, and you can make this. You can 3D print the parts and make it yourself.
I got to run, Liam.
All right, Tim.
Take care, Tim. Have a great night.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Tim, when are you on? Tim. You're on Sunday. Plug yourself.
Sunday at 6. I'll throw it in the chat when I leave. Okay.
6 what time, though?
Mountain time.
Okay. So that's 8 o'clock. Is that 8 o'clock Eastern?
5 o'clock Pacific.
Yeah, I'll throw the link up in the chat.
Okay, please do.
Okay, catch you guys later.
Take care. So yeah, you should check out the Flex. They call it a Flex Drive is what it is, but it's really cool idea. So you get the direct drive performance and extrusion rates without all that mass on the printhead.
Nice.
I think it's, and especially if you put the extruder above on Z, now the flex of the steel cable has no impact on the movement of your x-axis.
Right.
None at all, because it makes your x-axis moving left to right, so there's no real compression on the spring. It's not bending it, so it's not giving you any resistance.
Right.
So yeah, it's a cool idea.
I'm testing out the new Prusa slicer with the paint-on colors because I've been trying to use Simply Color 3D, which I backed and it never worked. And
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work because anything with holes gets filled, and there's some stuff that any kind of hole. If you're printing a cup, it fills the hole, and there's nothing you can do.
Oh wow, so that's kind of useless then, isn't it?
A little bit, unfortunately.
Put 0 top layers, won't that fix the problem?
Nope, because it's literally making a not solid item solid.
Huh.
Yeah. So Tim's channel, he just posted the time there. D with 3D, check it out. He's doing a rat rig build. This will be session 4. Is that right, Jerry?
Something like that, yeah.
4 or 5. Yeah, of event 4, live event 4 or 5.
He does lots of great videos. He has a great channel, and we all wish him the best. And like, subscribe, share his videos, just like Liam. Like, subscribe, share Liam's videos, hit the thumbs up button. All these guys need to get over 1,000 subs,
Yep.
And then from there, things slowly get better.
I'd be happy to get 500.
Right.
But his build is a good build actually. It's Tim has to wear a hard hat. He's accident prone.
And he's hard headed.
Liam is running low on filament, so if you guys might want to help, there's a link to his PayPal. It's a pinned post. I believe you have it pinned. Please go over to PayPal.
I've got a few miles worth of filament.
Well, I've been consuming all of mine with Toys for Tots.
I need to be consuming.
I've done about I've reached about 700 toys,
nice.
And my backlog is running low. And I'm waiting on IC3D to ship stuff.
Yeah,
but it could be a few weeks yet. So probably before this week is out, I will have to do a stop build. I've been building these for the Toys for Tots. Come out really nice. But I'll be running into a stop build soon because my stock of my own material is dwindling fast.
Yeah, I did that last year when I was printing masks like crazy.
Oh yeah, I did like masks. I was buying the PETG from 2.5 kilo spools.
Yeah,
IC3D.
I have a 10K roll of IC3D that's going to get.
I don't have a filament dryer for that. You see, this is my problem.
I can dry it. Cabela's has one big enough.
What are you using Cabela's to dry that?
I'll grab the link. Hold on. Just had food brought to me.
Yeah, let me show you the big spool. 1 second.
Yeah. No, I've got a 10K that I got for free. It was awesome. It was back when we were doing a lot of masks. And they're like, all right, well, if we're not going to use it, here you go. I'm like, okay.
Awesome.
So when I get that belt printer, I'm going to print the biggest, longest print I can.
They do provide filament, but they haven't started shipping yet because they're working on logistics. So this is the size of a normal filament spool. Like this is only a half, but the diameter is right, okay? So the 2.5 kilo spools are slightly bigger.
Right. So this was what I got. I'm gonna put it in private chat because I don't have a wrench. And it's a very long link. I'm gonna also share it up here, but let's see, share screen.
Use tiny URL or something. Shrink it down.
Here, I'm sharing my screen for it. If you'll pop me up somewhere.
Let's see. You shared it. There you go.
Yeah, I'm using that new Prusa slicer right now, curmudgeon. So that's what I have. That will handle a 10 kilogram roll. Confirmed.
Well, that's made for what? Jerky or meat, right?
Yeah. I just took all the drawers out and I just throw filament in there. It's great because I dry a ton of filament at a time, and it's better than,
Yeah, well, I use a food dehydrator to dry it, and then I know, but I use a smaller one that costs for $35.
Right. Yeah.
And then when it's dry, then I put it into my filler dryer for PETG because I want to keep it dry while I'm printing.
That's why I put it in my totes and put an Eva Dry in there. All my totes have it. I stay about 20% humidity.
Yeah, I have the desiccant packs, but they're microwavable, so I can throw them in there, use them, and then whenever they change color, take them out, throw them in the microwave for 3 or 4 minutes, take them out, and they're done. They're ready to go again.
I like the Eva Dries because they're rechargeable. 6 months, and you just plug them into the wall overnight. You're done.
Yeah, and I don't have to do that. I just, as I said, a couple of seconds, in a minute, doing a few minutes, maybe 3 minutes in the microwave, and they're done, and they're ready to go. So yes, they do provide it, but they're, because of the cost of logistics for shipping has got so expensive this year, and because of COVID, they are working on getting better ways of delivering this material, because there's big boxes of this is going to be going out to people.
Right.
So I'm waiting on them. They said it'll probably be another 2 weeks or so by the time they have to sort it out, and then they will start shipping. But that means I got 2 weeks of not being able to print.
I need to order a Celsius thermostat or something to put in my room here. I've never had one. I live in Vegas. It's usually not very humid ever, but I don't even know.
So you can get a cheap one on Amazon for like $10.
Yeah.
Too close to the oh no, is she all right?
Oh no.
Well, I like to run my PTG really dry because PTG can be fussy.
Same.
Are they battery operated or do they plug in?
Battery operated, just a cheap one. It uses like a AA or a AAA battery.
Okay.
That's nice. Air fryer with a dehydrator.
Yeah, well, yeah, and as long as you can control the temperature precisely.
The problem is you don't want to melt the filament, which I've done, and you don't want to melt the spool, which again I've done.
Well, I haven't, because I've always went with a food dehydrator rather than going with a. A lot of people they get told, "Oh, stick it in the oven." The biggest mistake you'll ever make, even if you had an oven that you can set it to 160 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yep.
It varies by plus or minus 30 or 40 degrees in an oven. Yep. Right?
Your oven will smell worse than an old person eating X-Lax.
Say that again?
I said your oven will stink worse than an old person eating X-Lax.
Right. Makes sense.
I haven't heard that description before, but okay.
Yeah,
so I'm going to share my screen here.
I have a dehydrator that you can't adjust the thermostat on. I bought off Amazon. It has no temperature setting on it. I threw some filament in. I cut out all the dividers so I could stack it up. Made a horrible amount of racket. Got really hot. I just quit using it. And I have that one from Sun Lube, but I don't have anything any larger.
So this is the 2.4 Prusa slicer. And I've been trying to get, this is what I've been trying to print for a friend, one of those Joy-Con things. So cool thing is you can tell it, what angle you want. So you can literally do like pieces of things.
So you can, and then you can assign those colors to the extruder.
Yep. Yeah, I can go in and assign whatever.
color. I need to have words with the guys at Idea Maker. Then they need to build.
Yes, they need to do that. The problem is they also need to find a way to integrate P2PP, which works for the palette. That's the problem. If they would, I would use that for that. The only thing I use Prusa Slicer for is the palette. That is it.
Okay, well, I like Idea Maker because of the IDEX machines.
Agreed. I like Idea Maker too. I love Idea Maker, but for palette, I have to use this.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, look at this in private chat. Tell me something like this. I just looked it up.
I can always grab you a link too. Hold on. Yeah, that'd be fine. As long as I mean, I have one of those in the thing. So for $8, you get 2 of them. You can put one in each room.
But yeah, so I don't have a palette.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you could use that for other things, but I can literally go in here and like paint the pieces.
Can you add text?
I don't know. That I do not have an answer for you on.
I don't find the workflow for Idea Maker hard.
See, I can do that. Like, it's ridiculous.
So you can pick a face, and then so it's based. The color is based on the face you choose.
Kind of, but you can also tell it what angle. Huh?
Can you do a paint like using
you can take a brush. Yeah, I can go.
Oh man! And then now that'll be printed as red.
Yeah, or I can bucket fill an entire thing, or whatnot.
Oh, Idea Maker needs to put this in there.
Yes, they do. I would agree, but they're a little behind the times on the multicolor.
15 degrees, as long as you stay within that, as long as your maximum temperature is not above the glass temperature of your filament, you should get away with it. But 15 degrees is a lot. Like I've tested my food dehydrator. It varies no more than 5 or 6 degrees at max.
Right. So I'm printing
and it's not a dead heat. It's moving air that's heated. So so that's a little different again, you know.
Look at that. That's gonna be awesome.
Actually, I need to look at Prusa for stuff like that then, because
there
I see the benefits in that, but I'm gonna ping the guys in Idea Maker and tell them that they need to add this, because they're very responsive.
This for a friend, so
yeah, they're very responsive. You know that.
I want to get running, guys. It's been 3 hours for me. I need to run.
Yeah, I'm gonna be wrapping up myself soon, but this is. I didn't know this. I didn't see this.
This just got released today, so.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Take care, everybody.
Take care, Jerry. Have a good one. Thanks for joining.
See you Saturday, 1 p.m. hopefully.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, bye, guys.
Ciao.
Look at that, freaking cool, huh?
No, I'd have to look at doing that, but I have to chase the guys' Idea Maker because they've been really
negative primitives. I don't understand the terminology. Expand. Let's see. So I'm trying to make this awesome for a friend. So,
see, Stephen.
He asked me to print this a while ago, and I'm just like, all right, let me try.
Yeah, no, it looks. I like the idea of that, but
problem is, like right here, it's a pain to fill. I have to literally click each thing.
Oh, you can't do a group select?
No, I don't know. I haven't tried.
Or an area select?
I mean, you can. Like that, I can. Oh, that'd been cool. Nah, I like the red. I'm just trying to perfect this before I send it to the printer because it's actually really cool. He'll really enjoy this. And I like being able to color it like this. It outdoes Simply Color 3D like crazy. Well, I can look on the GitHub. Oh, look, I can go even further. Jeez.
Yeah, I know.
That's cool.
Notice is supposed negative printers to subtract pieces of geometry from a model.
That's cool. I need a little more red. Where should
it's like an erasing feature.
Mm-hmm. Where should I put some red?
The very top of it.
The very top, like where
the brim all the way around the top.
Like the rim?
Yeah, where it's white right now. Brim it is red.
Make it red. Well, I could even do the inside as white or something. I don't care about filament usage. See? And then, or actually, if I really wanted to, I could alternate colors. That'd be stupid. I don't know. Is that a little much for the red?
Well, you said you wanted more, so
I know, but I'm just wondering: is it much? Design items.
I don't know. I don't know what he wanted. So
he said just have fun with it. So I am.
No, that's a nice idea. That's a nice feature. I need to look at that because I like for taking existing models and making it two color.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what you need. Then you can just do an extruder assignment.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
And that's exactly what I'd be using it for.
I'm going to go back to white for the top, I think.
Fuzzy skin, well,
yeah.
That or not.
Idea Maker did that, yeah.
Yeah, and Cura has had that since forever.
Yeah, well, it's Cura. They're always first to do something.
Yeah, but they don't do this, which is they probably will now.
Right. Oh yeah.
But I think as I said, Idea Maker has become my de facto.
What do we think? Pretty good.
I like that. Looks good. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how long it'll take.
Well, you're using the palette. The palette slows you down, right?
A little bit. Not that much, but I don't care. I don't care about filament usage. I have so much filament now. I need to start doing multicolor prints, and this is going to help.
Well, I need. Well, I've been doing a lot of printing, so I'm
about 20
I had about 60 spools at one point, and now I'm down to maybe 5 or maybe 8.
It literally tells you the G code on the left.
Yeah, because it has to calculate what's needed.
No, I've never seen it show G code ever. That must be new. That nice. Oh, that's an interesting color option. So they triangle it out.
Now, see, if you like with IDEX, I know you're doing 3 colors here, right?
3, yeah.
Yeah, that whole block would go away.
Yes, I know.
Now, if you used a palette,
yep,
with an IDEX,
it's the same.
You wouldn't actually, because you wouldn't have to do a whole purge area, because the purge block, here's a limitation, right?
Yeah.
When you do a purge block, you have to purge the whole enough to make an area the size of the layer, right?
Yeah.
So, but when you're doing an IDEX, you have to purge a few, maybe 1 or 2 centimeters, and you're done.
Right.
Because it doesn't have to worry about maintaining an area to be purged. The height of, so like if I was doing blue all the way up and then suddenly change to red, you would have to do a purge block all the way up in blue and then change to red.
Right.
And then the purge block would continue up in red, right? Whereas in IDEX, I wouldn't have to do that at all, because I just bring out the other head.
Right.
So there are big advantages. Question. Can you save out the different colors as STLs now?
I don't know.
That would be a nice add-in. So you could actually take an existing print.
I don't think so, but I don't know.
That would be a cool feature, though.
Yeah.
That way, then you could take an existing print
and color it online,
do color assignment.
Yeah.
And then take those colors and make them as separate STLs, and you can bring them into anything and merge them.
Now, the only downside with the palette, I cannot do wiped infill. I'm going to try, because I don't care about time. But
it depends on your interface layer, and it depends on your distance from.
Well, the way the palette calculates is different too.
No, sorry. I'm answering Dominic's email. A message about supports. The thing that makes your supports easy to remove or not is the distance between your part and your support. So sometimes you leave it about roughly 1 to 1.5 layers down, and by doing so, it will sag a fraction. But 1.5, 0.2 of a millimeter is nothing in a print, and you will still get a good finish, but it'll give the material time to be laid and cool before it rests on before it comes down onto the supports, and then at that point, it's not going to bond that well, so the supports come off easier. Or you can just do what if you have I'm a big fan of IDEX. You can just put in soluble materials in extruder number 2.
Right.
Well, yeah, purge bucket, but you wouldn't even need a purge as much with a purge bucket, because you just need to flush out your nozzle, which will be 1 or 2 centimeters, and you're done. And you don't have to maintain it to match your layers all the way up. Now, he could build a purge bucket for his printer and add the G code to a purge bucket. That would work and eliminate the purge block.
Yeah. So I need to up all my purge volumes.
Yeah, but S3D hasn't been updated since Moses was a baby. Come on.
Oh,
it's 5 years out of date.
They're just going to die. They need to, because...
Well, let's put it this way. They were really good. And then all of these free slicers are coming out.
Yep.
And they're so far behind now.
They can't catch up.
It would take a miracle to make them come out with something that's so fantastic that people will want to pay for it.
Correct.
That's going to be really difficult to do.
Yep.
Because everybody else has raced way ahead of them and are doing it for free. Like Prusa Slicer, like Idea Maker, like Cura. They've even even Slicer is better than it has more features now, right? So there's so many features in there. It's going to be really hard for them to catch up anymore, I think.
Yeah. So this is cool. So I like the Prusa printer's wipe to infill, because while it's changing colors, it'll run a different color in spots.
Yeah, purge to infill is a good. It is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a color that decided to
automatic color print for sign. That's I haven't played with Prusa that much, but now that it has this, I have a reason to look at it.
Right.
Because I'd have to build some profiles around my machines, but it'd be nice because I don't have purge blocks. I won't need any of that stuff. I have purge buckets or purge areas, and color changing by painting them is phenomenal. So
yeah, this is going to be so cool.
Yeah, you have to post a pic of the result.
I will try, and I'll tag Prusa. I'm going to upload it right now if it'll let me. There's some issues. 1,700 color changes in this print.
Yeah, because for every layer, it has to do multiples.
Yep.
And actually, the one thing that the others need to bring as well, you know the way that with Idea Maker where you can bring in patterns and textures, the others need to add that option.
Right.
But I like to paint on. It'd be nice if you could select a font and type the font on, and it lays it onto a surface, whatever the surface shape is.
Right.
So, all right, I think we'll wrap it up. It's been over 3 hours.
Right.
Thank you for joining, Justin. Fun as always. It's been a while because I know you're buried. So.
Yep. Oh yeah, work's insane.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
Yep.
Yeah, there's only 24 hours in a day, but management think there's 48, right?
Not so bad here. But,
well, that's what it is for me. So.
Right. All right.
Good night,
goodbye, world.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Remember, like, subscribe, ding that bell if you haven't already done so. If you're new, welcome. And remember, I go live on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern. And I invite you're all welcome to come in and join the conversation. I always publicize the link, so you're welcome to come in and join the conversation. Come on screen. Don't be shy. We don't bite much, but
depends on who's talking.
Depends on who's talking. But you're always welcome to come in and join. And if I have some stuff that's on its way.
You would.
But so apparently it is taking the slow way to get here.
Right.
But I have some stuff on its way. I do have another IDEX coming in that's that hasn't even been released yet.
Right.
I do have a machine I'm testing, but I'm not allowed to talk about.
Right. Well, I'll be talking a lot about the power belt when it comes in. That'll be
that one. I'd love to have gotten onto the beta for that, but
right.
But
he only took 40. He only took 40 out of 160.
I know. But I have another machine from a bigger company that everybody knows.
Yes.
That I'm testing, but I'm not allowed to talk about the details of it because they want user feedback. They want my feedback rather than, and they don't want it shared out. But I will the moment they start announcing it, and the moment they start talking about it, it'll be on screen for everybody to see, and you know it will be. So as soon as I have the okay to do so. But I have a few things lined up. The Sunlu S2 is on its way to me as well.
Nice.
So I'm waiting on that. So I'll give that. We'll test that out. But thank you all for hanging out. Thank you, Justin. Thank you for everybody else who did come in and join the chat. We were busy all night long. It was good content. It was good fun. Remember, check out Justin's channel.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to post a link, go ahead.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. Check out Jerry's channel. Check out DeWitt 3D's Tim's channel. Tripod wasn't on screen, but he was in chat. Check out Tripod's Garage as well. All good guys that we hang out with on a regular basis on here. Tom Lama, he was on, so check out his channel as well. And remember, ding that bell and stay safe, stay healthy, guys. And remember, of course, stay printing. And I'll see you all next week, if not before.
Bye,
Take care, guys. Good night.